spare not, lift up voice like a trumpet, and show thy people their transgressions. So I'm a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Yahawashi. We got that, that's wicked kingdom over. For our people edification, my Fope soldiers. Isaiah 58, let the trumpet blow. Hey, read them Hebrew Israelites like it's time to let them know. Say let the trumpet blow. It's time to let them know. We them Hebrew Israelites, it's time to let them know. Cry loud, for my people never said it real pistol stolen that whip out of back still dying in the ghetto trapped make time to open up your eyes, it's too real. We can't fake it, the most high's on its way back soon. The reason why we went into slavery, cause we broke the commandments. Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Who is this nation of people? Not the seed of Ham, but the seed of Shem, from the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Revelation 2 and 9. Don't let these fake Jews tell you a lie. In due time, they all bow down. I wanna get my crown and stand firm in this truth. Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, that's his Hebrew name. Wasn't no J's in the Hebrew letter, so I carry this truth like I carry my sweater in the winter cold. This what you ain't been told. Esau is cover blown. We let the trumpet blow and let all my ox know that you a set apart nation, ain't compared to none. And when the Most High return, these other nations done. Isaiah 14 and 1, we gon' possess the land, and they gon' try to cleave. And the Most High said it all, this book of prophecy, a hard pill to swallow, but when that light shine, it's real bright, and the Most High is our lifeline. So Quam Yasharala, rise, O Israel. Hey, Quam Yasharala, rise, O Israel. It's time for you to wake up out your sleep. Romans 13 and 11, our salvation is near. Lift up thy voice in the streets so the whole world hear. Yeah, so I'm a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah. Yahawashi, he on our side, so don't try to move us. We got it next. Hey man, this wicked kingdom almost over. For our people edification, my Fope soldiers. Isaiah 58 and 1. Say let the trumpet blow. Say we them Hebrew Israelites, it's time to let them know. Say let the trumpet blow. It's time to let them know. We them people Israelites, it's time to let them know. Hey, let the trumpet blow. It's time to let them know. We them Hebrew Israelites, it's time to let them know. Would you denounce wicked traditions or not? Go to church on pagan Sundays, don't keep the Sabbath at all. That's why we standing on these corners, get this message to y'all. That you living in the wicked world, they knowledge is flawed. Full of satanic practices. The Vatican worship the Black Madonna on the low. While we die from Planned Parenthood, this is woe. Why you think we quoting scriptures, going head up with the beast, spreading righteousness ooze, leaving our enemies duped. This institution is through. We got the spirit of a lion and the power of Yeshaya. There's no way we could expire. I'm on fire. The Messiah is the root of the fire that be all up in my bones. And the prophet ain't respected at his home, but the truth won't stop. Don't try to make us to be wrong. And the scriptures bear witness to the things that we speak. Blow them trumpets, blow them trumpets. We them Israelites, man, and we 12 tribes deep. Hear the message that we speak. Blow them trumpets, blow them trumpets. We them Israelites, man, and we 12 tribes deep. Hear the message that we speak. Well, I'm a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah. Yahawashi, he on our side, so don't try to move us. We got next, man.
All right, shalom, shalom. Most High bless. We're back at it again.
Yes, sir.
More edification.
Back at it one more time.
Shalom, everybody. Shalom, my family.
Shalom. So, what we have here, man, we ready. The screen is already sharing, but yeah, the screen is already sharing biblical, and historical presentations of the Black Negro Jews. So we just had a show that's going to line right up in what our brother was talking about. Okay.
Hey, Qanath.
Right up.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Qanath. Hey, Qanath, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Can you see the screen? Is it big?
Yeah, I see it is big. Yes, sir.
Is the screen big, Qanath? Okay. Go ahead. Continue. Go ahead.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay,
So we're gonna
continue. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. So we're gonna. I'm trying to make it even bigger for you. Wait a minute. It's big enough. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is laying into the last show with the brothers from Africa was talking about the migration. So hopefully we can get some more readers on. I know I got one reader coming on in an hour into this. This is gonna be a pretty long presentation. We're gonna try to do it. It is. So it is. He's gonna try to do it so it won't be a part 2. But if we have to, then we would, because we got another show at 8:30. But
if we have to,
all right.
But hopefully, man, we can get through it. You know what I'm saying?
It's all right. All right, Most High bless, man. So let's Fope them up.
Let's go. And grace and peace to everybody today. Shalom, whatever words you choose to use. This is a presentation of F.O.P.E, biblical and historical presentation of the Black Jews or the Negro Jews, right? So let's get started here. As you see here, F.O.P.E for our people edification. So today we're going to touch on the Black Jews, the history of the Black Jews, the migration pattern of the Black Jews dealing with scripture and much evidence dealing with artifacts, etc., of Jews being black, all black. That's what we're going to do today as we continue. Right? 12 tribes returned from the same region of Osiris. We're also going to touch on the 12 tribes returning from the same region as Osiris. Okay? Dealing with the redemption of the house of Israel, right? So that's what we're going to do today. Anybody want to say something, Qanath, as we continue?
Oh no, Tim, as we start, Tim, you can start our reading, and I'll land me back on it because I'm trying to call Yavin up right now. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Now, dealing with the Jews, right, and antiquity of the Jews, it is evidence, even in the Quran, the Holy Quran, the Muslim Quran. Me, myself, I know many Muslims. I've met many Muslims throughout New York City where I live at, many Muslims. And I was given a Quran many years ago. And I'm so glad that I held on to this Quran. I almost got rid of it, but I held on to it because inside the Quran, it reveals the Muslims inside the Quran reveals God's people. The Muslim Quran acknowledged God's people as the people of the book. Okay, they call the Israelites the people of the book. Yavin, not Yavin. Timothy, are you Timothy? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the Muslims. Let me go back. So the Muslims call God's people the people of the book, right? So when you go to the book of Surah, and the reason why, like I said, I kept the Quran is for educational reasons. That's why I kept the Quran. I kept it for those reasons only. I don't read it. I just kept it for educational reasons. So when you go inside the Quran to the book of Surah, now starting at verse 25, in fact, read verse 26, Timothy, verse 26.
Verse 26, and those of the people of the book who aided them Allah did take them down from the strongholds.
Stop right there, Timothy. So it says here that the people of the book, the Israelites, that God took them down. This is what the Muslims wrote. Go ahead, continue.
And cast terror into their hearts.
And cast terror. So the Muslims say that Allah, their God, who they call Allah, he cast terror into the hearts of God's people. Go ahead.
And so that verse 27.
No, go to the top. Highlighted yellow. Let's continue at the top. Go ahead.
Some ye slew, and some ye made prisoners.
Stop right there. We're not going to read no more from this page here in the Quran. The Muslims said that the people of the book, those people, Allah, they call Allah, did take down the strongholds and cast terror into their hearts. And some ye slew, and some ye made prisoners, meaning slaves, because the Muslims, they owned slaves, Negro slaves, before the Europeans. The East African slave trade took part before the Atlantic slave trade. Long before the Atlantic slave trade, the Muslims owned slaves first. So they telling you and I, right here inside their book, the Holy Quran, that they had slaves of God's people. You see that, Timothy? Only God's people. Let's continue.
Yes, sir.
This is Surah page 150 or 131 in the Quran, Surah 3. Read verse 20, Timothy.
Verse 20. So if they dispute with thee, say, I have submitted my whole self to Allah, and so have those who follow me. And say to the people of the book, and to those who are unlearned, do ye also submit yourselves? If they do, they are right guidance.
That's good. So once again, the Muslims call God's people the Israelites, Yasha'al Allah, the people of the book. Let's go to the next. Read where it says section 2. Read what's highlighted at right there. Number 11.
Number 11.
This is Surah 59. Yeah, go ahead. Number 11.
Hast thou not observed the hypocrites say to their misbelieving brethren among the people of the book?
Among the people of the book. So the Muslims, they call God's people the people of the book. And when you go back here to Surah 33, they let you know that they had God's people into captivity, which happened in the Eastern slave trade. So the Muslims letting you know who God's people are. They're not Hispanics, they're not Mexicans. They're letting you know that all God's people are black, Negro, because they say they had the people of the book in captivity. The Muslims it is a historical fact that the Muslim slave trade started before the European slave trade. The black Jews scattered from Ethiopia to West Africa, according to scripture, right? One more time. The black Jews scattered from Ethiopia to West Africa, according to scripture. This is a fact. Let's continue. Read Zephaniah. This is Zephaniah 3:10. Read this for me, Timothy.
Therefore wait ye upon me, said Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation.
Right, God said he want to gather the nations. Read this here, Zephaniah 3:9.
For then will I return, Salaki. For then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of Yahweh to serve him with one consent.
Right, why? Because God's people were scattered. The black Jews scattered in Ethiopia to West Africa. They were scattered. Read verse 10, Zephaniah 3:10.
From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed, shall bring mine offering.
God's people are scattered beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, just as the brother said earlier in the first show presentation. God's people are scattered all over Africa as we speak. Okay, this here is a map of Africa. It's not too clear, but you can see. Can you see my cursor right here? Right here, where it says Ethiopia. The Jews here in Ethiopia, they over here near Mali. Near Mali, they call it Zakor, Z-A-K-H-A. I'm sorry, it's not that clear. Z-A-K-H-O-R, the Zakor, right? Then you got the Jews over here in Ghana, the house of Israel, right, in Ghana. You got the Igbo tribe of Nigeria, right? So you also got the Beth Yashiran tribe of Cameroon. Down below, you got in South Africa, you got the Limba tribe. And we know the Limba tribe make up a lot of Levites, right? In Zimbabwe also, right? So this is a map here showing Africa, showing the river Ethiopia, the Nile River, the Gahan River, showing the different kingdoms and cities and countries in Africa, scattered below the rivers of Ethiopia. This is the rivers of Ethiopia right here. It flows all the way down the Nile River, the Blue Nile, etc. You have the Rwanda Jews, Uganda, Nigeria, Cameroon, etc. Right? Now, this is a book here printed in the 1800s, folks. This book is called On the Classification and the Geographical Distribution of the Mammalia by Richard Owen. Let's go inside this book here. Again, this book here was printed in the 1800s, right? In London. It's good to get old sources, right? Dealing with the history of the Jews, especially going back to antiquity. So I like to dig into the sources dealing with the 1800s, the 1700s, the 1100s, etc. Right? If you can get sources dealing with the 1800s, etc., you pretty much can get accurate information when it comes to history. Hey, Timothy, do me a favor. Okay, let's start reading right here, Tim. You see my cursor right here, Timothy, where it says width? Start reading right there. Start right there.
With reference to the characteristics of color, which are extreme, we have now opportunities of knowing how much that character is the result of the influence of climate.
So right here, they saying in this old book here, they saying the influence of climate, talking about the pigmentation of people, dealing with the sun, etc. People turning dark skin, people burning because of the sun, etc. Some people are white, depending on what climate or what region you may dwell at. Go ahead, continue.
We know it more particularly by the most valuable mode of testing such influences, which we derive from
that word it look like it says peculiarity. Go ahead.
Of the Jewish race.
Of the Jewish race, continue.
Shit, damn. I lost what I was at.
Right here with my cursor.
For 1800 years. For 1800 years, that race has been dispersed.
That race has been dispersed. Let me start you, Timothy. So that these European early century writers are saying for 1800 years, this people has been dispersed in different latitudes. I can tell you, Timothy, in different latitudes and climates, and they have preserved themselves distant from intermixture. Read that one more time, Timothy. Start with my cursors at right here. What it says and. Start with my cursors at right here.
And they have preserved themselves distinct from intermixture with other races of mankind.
But I thought these niggas say that Israel did a kick and turn and completely did a metamorphosis and became another race of people. But Israel hardly mixed. They hardly mixed. Why? Because they tried their best to stick to the laws of Moses. So that talk about Israel look like all nations on the earth, that's a lie. Read that, Timothy, where I got my cursor, where it says dear.
There are some Jews still lingering in the valleys of the Jordan, having been oppressed by.
No, stop right there. Stop what says Jordan. They saying to you, this early antiquity writings, that the Jews, even in the 1800s, were still lingering in the valley of the Jordan, having been oppressed by, continue up top, compressed by successive, go ahead.
Successive conquerors of Syria for ages.
For ages, go ahead.
A low race of people.
They call them a low race of people. Go ahead.
Hold up, I'm still stuck on that part. That book say a low race of people.
Yeah, they call the Israelites a low race of people. And what we just read in the Quran, the Muslims said the people of the book in the Quran, they took them to captivity. That happened during the sub-Saharan slave trade. The Muslim slave trade. Go ahead, read it one more time.
Let me read a little bit of Tim, you on mine, man. That was powerful. I gotta get part of that, man. It say a low race of people and described by trustworthy travelers as being as being black as any.
Wait a minute, they said the people that described the Jews as being what? In the early century, they described the Jews as being what?
Black.
Go ahead.
As any of the Ethiopian races. Others.
That's good. You can stop right there. No. You have to read. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's good. Okay.
Go ahead, Qanath. I didn't mean to stop you. Go ahead.
It's good. Others of the Jewish people participated in the European civilizations and dwelling in the northern nation showed.
The European nations. Go ahead, Qanath.
European nations show I can't see that word.
Instances.
Go ahead, Tim. Take over.
I'll finish it out. Instances of the light complexion, the blue eyes, and light hair of the Scandinavian families.
You see that? So they're telling you and I, folks, that the original Jews, whom they seen with their own eyes, were all black. Shall we continue? And this source here is from. This source is from the 1800s. It's a book called On the Classification of the Geographical Distribution of the Mammalia. Right? Shall we continue, folks? Shall we continue?
Yes, sir.
Let's continue. The Jews of North Africa. The Jews of North Africa at the top left, it says the Jews of Africa. Let me read this part, Timothy, then I'll let you read the next page. The fact that certain inscriptions in Qanath, indicate origin in the Israelite tribes of Asher and Zebulun, which is in North Africa, gives further weight to the conclusion, affirming the Israelite origin of many, if not most, of the colonists of Phoenician and Carthaginian empires. Now read this part, Timothy, I got highlighted. Read that part. Well, I got my cursor. Go ahead.
The fact that certain inscriptions in Carthage indicate origin in the Israelite tribes of Asher and Zebulun gives further weight to the conclusions affirming the Israelite origin of many, if not most, of the colonists of Phoenician and Carthaginian empire.
So they're telling you and I that the tribe of Zebulun and the tribe of Asher is dwelling in North Africa, and which was called Carthage. And you see this picture right here? This is a synagogue right here. This is one of their synagogues right here, folks.
Is that the olive branch on one side?
It looked like it, right? It looks like it. But this is a synagogue right here. This is the front of the synagogue right here. But it says the tribe of Zebulun and Asher, right? Let's continue. Ephraim and Manasseh's mother was an Egyptian Hamite woman. Often throughout scriptures, the Israelites and the Hamitic nations intermarried, producing offspring who also intermarried. Israelite men and African women. After a while, could you tell a Hamite from an Israelite? Let me say that one more time. After a while, how could you tell a Hamite from an Israelite? Let's remember, the promised land includes the Nile River, populated by some of the blackest Africans in the world. So they're telling you that the Nile, from the below the Nile River, is populated of some of the blackest peoples in the world. And guess what? Many of the Jews blended right in.
Hold up. So you said so according to this, that this right here just smashed all of that. If you're Mexican, you're mixed and all. Hey, say man, this right here prove what's that boy name for Sakari? You not one of us, bro. Stop it. Nope. You just got smashed right there. You're not one of us, man.
Exactly. As we continue, the old definition of the Hebrews as Afro-Asiatic people. This is from an old dictionary. It says here, can you read this? I'm sorry it's not too clear, but can you read this where it says Hebrew? See my cursor, Timothy?
A member of Semitic, it looked like peoples inhabiting ancient Palestine and claiming descent from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Israelite.
I read number 2. A Semitic language of the Afro-Asiatic family. Once again, the term Hebrew It says it's from the Afro-Asiatic family. From an old definition of the Hebrews as Afro-Asiatic peoples. Let's continue. This is a close-up right here. One more time. Let me read one more time. The Hebrew definition. A member of the Semitic peoples inhabiting ancient Palestine and claiming descent from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Israelite. Number 2, a Semitic language of the Afro-Asiatic family.
I don't know how you're going to run from that one.
Here's another close-up, so you can see even bigger. Afro-Asiatic family. Now, this is from another source, a book printed in 1859. It's called The Monuments of Assyria and Babylonia and Persia. But we're going to start right here, close where my cursor is at here. Let me start here. It says, start with my cursor right here, Timothy. Start reading right here where my cursor is at.
Now we know from the book of Nehemiah that such foreign alliances were not unusual among the Jews after the captivity. And as Manasseh had become a Tartar, hey, blow it up a little bit for me.
I can't blow it up. I'm sorry, I can't blow it up. But let me. I'll read the rest of it. Manasseh had become a Tartar herd, seated as we have seen in the country of the Khazars. It may justly be inferred that they indulge in a similar latitude, right? Then it says it intermarrying with their families or their female slaves, or contracting marriages with the black Khazars, right? Mentioned by Ibn Hakam. But it talks about the tribe of Manasseh. Let me scroll ahead. The subject at the large, at the point in hand, to receive curious light from the single expression in the Kohen manuscript, whence it would appear both the tribe of Manasseh had become tawny or black. Tawny or black. And this tribe has settled in the Malabar. Malabar, folks, is India. Again, Malabar is located in India. So it says here, the tribe has settled in Malabar, and which is and where the true look what it says here with my cursor at. Read that part, Timothy, with my cursor is at right here. And where
the true ancestors of the black Jews.
Right. So it said that the tribe of Manasseh also settled in Malabar, which is India, and it says, and were the true ancestors of the black Jews. So that the tribe of Manasseh was black, and it was dwelling, and still is dwelling in Ethiopia. And this lines right up with scripture. When you go to the book of Esther, right? Esther talks about, or the book of Esther talks about the Jews being scattered from India to Ethiopia. So when you go back here, it says that the tribe of Manasseh was located in Malabar coast of India. It lines right up with scripture. When it says they were scattered from India to Ethiopia, the province of India, right here, all the way to Ethiopia, and many parts of Africa also is called Ethiopia. This is what Artaxerxes, who reigned over 170 provinces from India to Ethiopia. Let's go to the next. Let's continue. Let's continue now. Let's see here. Hey, Timothy, pick it up. Let's see. Pick it up right here. Right here. Let's see what I want. Pick it up right here. My cursor's at right here. Then this is the next page of the same page. Go ahead.
And which were spoken of as belonging to the son black tribe of Manasseh.
Wait, the son black tribe of who?
Manasseh.
And the book was written in 1859. The son black tribe of Manasseh. That was very dark. In this one illusion, we have the percentage, or let me start over. The parentage of the black Jews. We have the parentage of the black Jews, right? It is not possible that the black Narcissus or what's that word? Elphinstone may be the same stock and that blah blah blah. But let's scroll down here. Let's scroll down. I want to just get through this real quick. I venture. Let me start right here. I venture to throw it out in the hope that the attention of eyewitnesses may be called to the degree of the international resemblance between the roving Norses of Africa. Look what it says here, of Afghanistan and the black Jews of Malabar. You see a hands part of that. The black Jews of Malabar. Let's go to the next. This here is an ancient corn in 70 AD, Vespasian corn, because we know when the Romans conquered, they always made corns of themselves to basically as bragging rights during 70 AD, right? So this is the front of the corn, this is the back of the corn, showing they conquered the Jews, right? But showing you at the back of the corn, it shows you what the Jews look like, black. This is the close-up of the corn of a Judean from the Vespasian corn. Show them as black. This is another close-up. You can't get no Negro than that, can you, Timothy?
I don't know how you gonna get nothing else out of that.
Is Qanath still around? Or he stepped away?
He probably might be on the phone.
I'm right here.
Let's continue.
Oh, I'm right here.
Let's continue. That's okay, Qanath. I know you're busy. Let's continue. The Antiquities book. This is from Josephus, the complete works of Josephus. Book number 11, 5 to number 133. Okay, 133. Let's see what Josephus wrote about the 10 tribes and where they was dwelling. Timothy, start right here where my cursor is at, right here.
And came to Babylon as very desirous of going down to Jerusalem. But then the entire body of the people of Israel remained in that country. So there are but 2 tribes remained in that country. So there are my bad. In Asia and Europe, subject to the Romans.
Stop right there. Stop right there, Timothy. When it says Asia, it's talking about the Asia Minor. Go ahead. Well, I got my cursor at. Go ahead. Where my cursor is at.
While the 10 tribes are beyond the Euphrates until now.
Now, the 10 tribes are where? Where did Josephus say the 10 tribes located?
Beyond the Euphrates.
Beyond the Euphrates, meaning south of the Euphrates. Beyond means south. Beyond means south below. 10 tribes were south of the Euphrates. It says, while the 10 tribes are beyond the Euphrates until now, meaning until his time, and are in an immense multitude and not to be estimated by numbers, meaning thousands of Jews was located beyond the Euphrates, meaning south. So Josephus knew exactly where the 10 tribes went. Now, right here it says in 93 CE, Josephus knew that the 10 tribes were south of the Euphrates in Africa. All right, 93 CE is when Josephus wrote. What did Flavius Josephus write? Flavius Josephus' greatest work, The Antiquities of the Jews, completed in 93 CE. He traced the history of the Jews from the creation, right, to just before the revolt of 66 through 70 AD. Now, Zutra. Anybody know about Zutra? Zutra. Who was Zutra? Zutra was he was a Jew that had descended of the people of the exiles, right? Who left Babylon, right here, or the Persian captivity. Zutra bin Hanana, right? That's his name. Zutra born during the Persian Empire. He was born during the Persian Empire of 370 BC. This guy right here, right? Let's read more about him. Let's see what it says about the Persian Empire for the National Geographic. The Persian Empire, also known as the Achaemenid Empire. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Whatever. Lasted from approximately 559 BCE to 331 BCE. At its height, it encompassed the areas of modern-day Iran, Egypt, Turkey, parts of Afghanistan, and said Pakistan. So Zutra was born in 370 BC in Persia. Zutra mentioned the 10 tribes in the ancient Babylonian Talmud. One more time, Zutra was born in Persia during the captivity and mentioned in the ancient Babylonian Talmud. He mentioned where the 10 tribes was located. Now let's read and see What did Mazutra say concerning the 10 tribes in the Talmud, Sanhedrin 94:8? In fact, pick it up right here, Timothy.
The Gemara asks, to where did Sennacherib exile the 10 tribes? Mazutra says, he exiled them to Africa.
That's all you got. You ain't got to read no more. Let's go back. Mazutra, again, folks, he was born during the Persian captivity. He was one of the Jews that returned from the captivity. He wrote in the ancient Babylonian Talmud that the Jews were where? Where did they go? The 10 tribes went. One more time, Timothy.
They went to Africa. He exiled them to
Africa. Okay, and this is written from a guy who was part of the Persian captivity. Now let's continue. Now when you go into the book of Josephus, right? In the back of the book, the index of the book. Let's see what it says in the back of the book. Read this part for me. Right here where I got the cursor, Timothy.
Hebrews twice carried captives beyond Euphrates. Antiquities 10:9-7.
That's it. That's it. Now read this part here where I got my cursor right here.
Hebrews who came from beyond Euphrates to offer sacrifices.
Beyond the Euphrates, meaning Africa, as Mazutra just said, beyond the Euphrates. Now start right here where I got my cursor right here.
10 tribes live outside Roman Empire.
Wait a minute. They live outside what empire?
The Roman Empire.
The 10 tribes lived outside the Roman Empire. Why did the 10 tribes live outside the Roman Empire? Because the 10 tribes, they didn't want nothing to do with the Romans. This is the Roman Empire right here. The Roman Empire. Okay? Right here. The 10 tribes live beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, in the Horn of Africa, away from the Romans. Again, when you go back, Josephus said that the 10 tribes lived outside the Roman Empire. Outside the Roman Empire. They lived all from this part of Africa all the way south beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, just as it says in Zephaniah. Moving on. Now, I also have the letters of Pontius Pilate that was written to his friend Seneca back in Rome. He stayed in contact with his close friend Seneca back in Rome. And Pontius Pilate letters written to his close friend Seneca back in Rome, he wrote about the Jews in Africa. Let's see what Pontius Pilate said about the Jews in Africa. Now, on the left side, this is Lucius Seneca right here. This is a good friend of Pontius Pilate right here. This is his bust right here, folks. Now, let's see what Pontius Pilate wrote concerning the Jews in Africa. So, Timothy, start right here when I got my cursor right here.
How can I pay so much? I said. At the beginning of my term of office, borrowed the money from the Jews, said Valerius, and then increased their taxes in order to pay it back.
Stop right there. Let's stop right there, because when you read the book, right, Pontius Pilate was trying to figure out ways how to maintain Herod palaces, because Herod had many great palaces. So he was trying to figure out a way how to maintain it with money, right? So he asked Valerius, who was the procurator before Pontius Pilate took over. So Valerius was telling Pontius Pilate about the people of the Jews, what to expect as procurator or governor, and how to deal with the Jews, and etc. So Pilate said, how can I maintain Herod palaces? Now pick it up right here, where I got the cursor. Continue.
And then increase their taxes in order to pay it back.
Stop. He said increase the people's taxes. That way you can maintain the palaces. Go ahead. Where it says but.
But I replied.
Stop. Wait. I didn't mean to cut you off. This is Pontius Pilate responding back to Valerius. Go ahead.
I am just going to inform a Jewish deputation that out of respect and admiration for their race, I intend graciously to remit a 10th part of the taxes.
Go ahead.
Why not? Said Valerius. I did the same myself.
So Valerius told Pontius Pilate, and he was the governor before Pontius Pilate. He said, why not? I did the same thing myself. Go ahead, continue.
But in 6 months, you must restore the 10%, and in 12 months, put another 10th on that.
Go ahead.
He told me also that I should by all means encourage the Jews who thronged to Jerusalem from Asia and Africa.
Wait. He said Valerius told Pontius Pilate to encourage the Jews who do what?
Who thronged to Jerusalem from Asia and Africa.
Go ahead.
At the time of the great festivals, especially the Passover.
Stop right there. So he just told Pontius Pilate. He said every year during the Passover and festivals, the Jews come from Asia, meaning Asia Minor, and they come up from Africa every year to the Passover.
Hey, brother, can I say something real quick? I hope everybody letting this marinate. From festivals, especially the Passover, right? So think about this. Was they coming from America back to Jerusalem? No, they was coming from where they was scattered in Asia and Africa.
Exactly.
Go ahead, bro.
Exactly. And this witness to Zephaniah 3:10 from beyond the rivers of Cush or Ethiopia, my suppliants, they shall bring my offering. What offering did they bring? They brought the sheep, etc., the goats, etc., to be sacrificed to the Levites. That's what they brought. But let's go back one more time. Valerius. Now remember, Valerius was the procurator. He was the governor before Pontius Pilate. It's kind of like Qanath. You know how when Obama left office or just before he left office, what usually happened to the president when he leave just before he leave office? The incoming president go and see him, right? They always do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like before, for example, before Bush left office, when Obama first came in, Bush met Obama before he was sworn in. They always do that. So this is the same thing happened here. When Pontius Pilate came in, he met Valerius before Valerius left the governor's office in Judea. And he gave Pontius Pilate the rundown of what to expect as the governor, etc. And he told Pontius Pilate, he told me that every year the Jews come up from Asia and they come up from Africa to the festivals, especially the Passover. Look what he says. So long as Caesar maintains peace in the province or the provinces, he said the Jews flourish. They travel in tens of thousands to Judea. You see that, Qanath? They travel in tens of thousands of people to Judea. They carry their money with them. Now let's continue.
Hey, hold on.
Yehuda,
Yehuda, real quick. I'm sorry. Can you go back? Because I want to give people different understanding of a word that you use with throne. When he said that, were they thrown? Can you go back to that?
Yeah, right here. I got my cursor right here.
Yeah, he said, he told me also that I should by all means encourage the Jews who throng to Jerusalem. Now, the word throng there, when you look it up, it means a large pack, right? Meaning a large amount of people. Okay, look it up. So it says, I should by. He told me also that I should by all means encourage the Jews who throng or large pack of people to Jerusalem from Asia. So it's a lot of people. And go to the next page. Keep on going. It's something I wanted to read. Keep on going.
It says from Asia, they came from the Asia Minor and Africa, he says. And then it says to the festivals, especially the Passover.
And then it says, so long as Caesar maintained peace in the province, the Jews flourished. They travel in tens of thousands. That's the throne, that large pack to Judea, carrying their money with them. Thousands.
Right. You know why? Because during the festivals, the Romans they increased the taxes to make more money because they knew thousands of people was coming to the festivals. They knew that was coming up from Africa and Asia Minor. So they used their opportunity to make more money.
Right. And understand, we bought certain things because a lot of times the Levites didn't have, right? I think it was the Levites was a smaller one, and we gave to them the smallest tribes. But go ahead, continue. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The Jews, that's okay. You guys want to interject? Go ahead. The Jews came up from different parts of Libya. Read that part for me, Timothy, one more time. At the top title, the black. Read that part for me, Timothy.
Jews came up from different parts of Libya, which is Africa.
Now read the book of Acts 2:10. Read this part, right? I got the cursor. This is from the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 10. Read that.
Phrygia and Pamphylia in Egypt, in the parts of Libya about Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes.
Proselytes. These are the Jews. These are. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Jews went up to the Pentecost from different parts of Libya, which was the African continent.
The African continent. It says in the book of Acts 2:10, this also the witness to Zephaniah, that all the Jews, this also witnessed what Valerius told Pontius Pilate, that the Jews came from Africa to the festivals every year. This lines up, and the whole continent of Africa was called Libya. And here you can see that the continent of Africa was called Libya. The entire continent was called Libya, and certain parts called Ethiopia. But just about the entire continent of Africa was called Libya. So when it says in the book of Acts 2:10, the Jews, it says, came from Pamphylia and Egypt, and it says parts of Libya. Notice it says parts of Libya. Why do it say parts? Parts of Libya, because it's talking about parts of Africa. Different parts of Africa where they came up to Pentecost, right? They had to go right through Egypt. Anybody want to say something?
Oh no, I'm scared.
Just keep foping them up. Keep foping them up.
Let's continue. This right here says it's an article. It says from Africa to Virginia, the Jamestown settlement in the American Revolution Museum at Yorktown. Read this part for me, Timothy.
Permanent gallery exhibits at Jamestown settlement highlight the culture of the first recorded Africans in Virginia in 1619.
You see that? It says highlighted the first culture of the first recorded Africans in Virginia. Go ahead.
In 1619, and the experience of people of African descent in the colonial America.
Mm-hmm.
At the American Revolution Museum at Yorktown, discover stories of African and African Americans during the American Revolution.
Watch this. Now, from this article right here, this is, you see this right here, this relic, this statue image? Mm-hmm. This is from Jamestown Settlement Galleries, right? It says below, the copper allure plaque from the Kingdom of Benin. The Kingdom of Benin, 1600, Jamestown, Yorktown Foundation Collection, right? So this statue image here is from the Kingdom of Benin. It is a black Jew with locks. You see the locks? Black Jew with locks from the Kingdom of Benin, all right? Ephraim in West Africa, which stands for the children of Ephraim. That's what it stands for.
Hold on, brother. You trying to tell me that the children from Ephraim, Benin, had locks and looked like that?
Right. And you're gonna see the close-up, exactly. Exactly. But again, this is a rare image from the kingdom. It said from the Kingdom of Benin, right? A black Jew with locks from the Kingdom of Benin, Benin, Ephraim in West Africa, which stands for the children of Ephraim.
Hey, brother Yehuda. So, who they got Ephraim classified as on their little chart?
Hispanics, Mexico, Hispanics.
Well, it don't even matter. It don't matter because this clearly shows you that it's impossible for Ephraim to be anything but a Negro.
Thank you, and we're gonna continue too. Thank you very much. Thank you. Read this part for me. About Benin.
What year was that when they came down doing the translated slave trade? Right.
Let me go back right here. It says 16. It says right here, the culture of the first recorded Africans in Virginia in 1619.
So you mean to tell me
so they've been black the whole time?
We metamorphed from
they get flipped.
Right. And from 16 something to 2021, we all of a sudden now we still look the same, but now we the metamorphed into something else from 1619 to 2021.
Thank you.
Sorry, go ahead.
They turned into some human transformers, huh?
No, that's okay. You want to talk? This is what this lecture and presentation is for people to talk, for you guys to say something. Don't let me do all the talking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I want you guys to interject. That's what I want to happen. That's what I want to happen. So it said Jamestown settlement, right? And galleries, right? It said this image right here. You can see the locks, right? Let's continue. Read this for me, Timothy.
Let me say this before I read that. So again, in Revelation, it say that Yahawashi know the blasphemy of them who say they are Jews and are not,
exactly.
or the synagogue of Satan. So all of them lying Hispanics, all of them campers, sitting up there trying to give our heritage away to people that ain't us. Y'all are the synagogue of Satan. Okay,
yep.
We proving it right now because we just
haven't seen nothing yet. They haven't seen nothing yet, Timothy.
Right. But we just showed y'all that it's impossible for Manasseh to transform in 400 years, bro. Matter of fact, what, 410? 420 years?
Yeah.
Because that was from the year 1600, right?
Right there on the screen. You guys can take screenshots. All you brothers watching the presentation. I'm in the cut you off, Timothy. Take these screenshots of Yahuda's and F.O.P.E's presentation because you haven't seen nothing yet. I haven't even touched the surface, brother. Wait till you see what I got.
Let's get it. Let's go there. Let's go.
Let's Fope them up, baby. The Benin.
Go ahead, read that part.
The Beni Ephraim, sons of Ephraim. Also called Telugu.
Telugu Jews. Now you ain't gotta read all this stuff. It just talks about the different villages, etc. in India, blah blah blah. Read this part where I got a curse there right here.
They claim to be descendants of the tribe of Ephraim, of the 10 lost tribes, and since the 1980s have learned to practice modern Judaism.
You see that? Now,
wow.
Now this is a map right here. Go ahead, Timothy. I'm sorry. You want to say something?
That since 1980s. So yes, hold up. You try to tell me. Hold up. In the 90s, they transformed. They must have transformed in the 90s or some shit like that.
Right. They did a transformation. They transformed their whole DNA. They transformed their whole DNA structure, their blood. They transformed their anatomy.
Everything.
They transformed their skulls. They transformed everything. They transformed their hair,
face, everything, height, all it. Wow.
The Benin map. This is a map of Benin. See, Benin also is spelled Benin. It could be pronounced Benin, B-E-N-I-N, Benin, B-E-N-N-I-N, and Beni, B-E-N-E. But this is a map of Benin. You see Benin right here? This is Benin. This is West Africa right here, folks. All of this is West Africa in the Benin Kingdom, right? So Benin, Benin or Bene, where I got the curse of Bene, is a corruption for Beni. One more time, Bene or Bene is a corruption for Beni, Ephraim, the children of Ephraim or Ephraim. This is another map of Benin. Benin. See, you see Niger, you see Nigeria right here. A lot of Jews in Nigeria, Togo, Ghana. A lot of Jews in Ghana. In fact, the name Ghana also links back to the word Gad or God, the God people of the tribe of Gad. This is the close-up right here of the Benin statue that was dated. Let's go back. That was dated back to 1600, right? It says right here from the kingdom of Benin. Now let's go back. This is the close-up right here. Let's look at the close-up. You can clearly see on the left side of this statue of this Benin Jew. You can see his locks. You see his locks, right? Now look at this side. Notice the fringes right here. You see where the finger pointed? Notice the fringes. And this statue was from Jamestown. It said the title is from Africa to Virginia. Jamestown. Let's go back. But notice the fringes. Notice Notice the locks. Notice even right here, he had little fringes right here. Oh, your brother Yehuda got something for y'all on this presentation. Y'all ain't seen nothing. You want to say something, Qanath or Timothy?
Yeah. I want to say something real quick. I want everybody to look at my small screen. These are some images of the Benin people. Okay, that's one. I'm gonna show you another one. Give me a second.
And we just showed you. I'm sorry. You showing your screen?
I'm showing Benin. Yeah, I'm showing Benin women with locks in their hair, looking just like looking like Aunt Bertha. Okay, I'm gonna show one more. I'm gonna show one more Benin.
Yeah, take your time.
Notice the facial features on the statue too.
Yeah. You see that?
All right, I'm showing you. I'm gonna show some more Benin. One more Benin person. Right, Benin. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna show one more. I gotta show one more.
Take your time, Qanath. Take your time.
Now, this person. Let me enlarge my screen real quick. Okay.
You want me to take this off?
You know how to put it right back up, right?
Hold on a second. Let me see something.
No, hold on. No. Don't take it off. Don't take it off. Leave it up. I'm gonna show another picture of a Benin woman, right? Boom. Now, who do she look like? That's somebody at the family reunion, auntie, cousin, aunt, whatever you want to call it, right? That's a Benin. That's somebody a Benin, right? So I'm gonna put you back on now. The screen back on for you, Huda. But
hey, listen, bro. You want to interject, man? Go ahead. We got all day, bro. Yeah, we got to get part two. So be it. That'd be the will of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. So you can see the brother, right? This is a Negro, right? Timothy said. But look at the locks. Look at his garment, what he got on. Look at the fringes right here. Right? From Benin, from the Benin kingdom. It says from the kingdom of Benin. Let's continue. This is from another early century book, right? This is from another early century book. It says the Christian researchers, right? You see that? Of Asia, right? And then below it says printed. You can't really see it, but I can see it. In 1812. Again, the Christian researchers of Asia. Let's read before we read what it says inside this book here. Timothy, do me a favor, read this part, the book of Esther 8 and 9. Hey Timothy, you still there?
My bad. Yeah, I'm still here. My bad. I didn't notice I had my mic muted.
Yeah, read this part for me.
Then were the king's scribes called at the time in the 3rd month, that is the month Sivan, on the 3 and 20th day thereof, and it was written according to all that Mordecai commanded unto the Jews and to the lieutenants.
Go ahead. What happened?
Can y'all hear me?
You broke up, bro. You broke up. One more time.
I'm gonna just start from the top because
no. Start with the top. Start here. It says and. I got the cursor. And I got the cursor right there.
And the deputies and the rulers of the provinces which are from India unto Ethiopia, and 127 provinces, unto every province according to the writing thereof, and unto every people after their language, and to the Jews according to their writing, and according to their language.
Right. So they sent letters. King Xerxes sent letters to all the Jews dwelling from India to Ethiopia. That's why I want to read that, because when you go back here now, this book here was printed again. It's out of print in 1812. Right now, we just read that the Jews were sent letters, was dwelling from India to Ethiopia. Now let's go inside the book. Right, this same book right here. Christian Researchers of Asia. Let's go inside the book and read and see what they say. Pick it up right here at the top, Timothy, right here.
It is only necessary to look at the continents of the black Jews to be satisfied that their ancestors must have arrived in India many ages before the white Jews.
Wait a minute. Read that one more time. Wait. Slow down just a little bit, Timothy. I may be stopping you. Pick that from the top one more time. One more time, Timothy. One more time,
it is
Timothy.
only necessary. It is only necessary to look at the continents of the black Jews.
The countenance of the black Jews, meaning their facial features, what they look like. Go ahead, continue.
To be satisfied that their ancestors must have arrived in India many ages before the white Jews.
Before the who? I told y'all, this lecture presentation, you guys haven't seen nothing. I haven't even scratched the surface. Not even close to scratching the surface. And this is from an ancient source, folks. An ancient source, one more time, from the Christian Researchers of Asia. Right? So it says it is only necessary to look at the countenance of the black Jews to be satisfied that their ancestors must have arrived in India many ages before the white Jews. You see that? Many ages before the white Jew. Let's continue. Let me read. Their Hindu complexion, meaning black, and their very imperfect resemblance to the European Jews indicate that they have been detached from the parent stock in Judea many ages before the Jews in the West. See, and that there have been intermarriages from families, not Israelites, talking about these white Jews. But this lines up with the book of Esther 8 and 9. It lines right up because it says to be satisfied that their ancestors must have arrived in India. We just read in the book of Esther that the Jews were dwelling from India to Ethiopia. Let's continue. All 12 tribes return. All 12 tribes. This is 1 Chronicles chapter 9. Timothy, pick it up right here in verse 1.
Verse 1. So all Israel were reckoned by genealogies, and behold, they were written in the book of the kings of Israel.
Ezra's a damn liar. Ezra lied, bro. I know all Israel was not reckoned by genealogy. Did Ezra lie, Timothy?
I don't think he did.
Continue. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Who were carried away to Babylon for their transgression.
All of Israel was reckoned by genealogies. Read verse 2.
Verse 2. Now the first inhabitants that dwelt in the possessions in their cities were the Israelites, the priests, Levites, and the Nethinims.
The Nethinims, they were the Levites that took care of the temple inside the temple. The Nethinim, that's who they were, right? But it says the first of the Jews to return after the Persian captivity. These were the first to return because it was three ways of return. You had Zerubbabel went back to rebuild. You had Ezra and Nehemiah. So these are the Jews that returned with the first wave of return. Now let's see who are among the first wave of Jews to return from the captivity. Read verse 3.
And in Jerusalem dwelt of the children of Judah, and of the children of Benjamin, and of the children of Ephraim, and Manasseh.
So not only do you have the Jews that had migrated long before they went to Africa, you also had the Jews within Benjamin, Ephraim, and Manasseh. They went back with the first wave of Jews after the captivity. Let's continue. Read this for me right here. Ezra 8, 24 through 34. Read this for me, Timothy.
Then I separated 12 of the chief.
Hey, Timothy, I'm sorry. Before you read, This is when after they returned from the captivity, when they went back, right? Ezra separated 12 priests for the peoples. Why? Because all 12 tribes returned from the captivity. Go ahead.
Then I separated 12 of the chief of the priests, Hashabiah, and 10 of their brethren with them.
All of these was priests.
Wait.
All of these was priests. Ezra took 12 priests because all 12 tribes returned. Go ahead. Where it says, and wait.
And weighed unto them the silver and the gold.
And the gold.
And the vessels.
And the vessels. You don't have to read no more because this is when the king of Persia gave all these things for them to return. Right, and weighed the silver ivory, and weighed unto them the silver and the gold and the vessels, even the offerings of the house of our God, which the king see, and his counselors and his lords and all Israel their present had offered. Now, this is Ezra 2 and 7. This is Ezra chapter 2, verse 17. Read this for me, Timothy. The book of Ezra, chapter 2, verse 17.
So the priests and the Levites and some of the people, and the singers, and the porters, and the Nethinims dwelt in their cities, and all Israel in their cities.
No, that's a lie. Now only Judah and Benjamin dwelt in their cities after the captivity.
No, it says so the priests and the Levites. And some of the people, and the singers, and the porters, and the Nethinims dwelt in their cities, and all Israel in their cities.
No, that can't be true. That's not what the camps teach. The camps say only Judah and Benjamin and Levi was in the cities after the captivity. That's what they say.
Hey, Yehuda, can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Can I say something real quick? And I'm following you, trust me. And I fell back, but African, because you read about India, right? Africa. I'm going to show y'all something. Africans in India, from slaves to general and rulers. So this picture right here I'm showing everybody are the black African descendants from Israel, right? In India, these are pictures of them, right? Ancestors of the slave trade. And this is in India. Read right here, it says real close, Africans in India, slaves. Right? These are the ancestors of the slaves in India. They don't look from people from India. They look just like you Negroes that's watching this live. Right? That's Uncle Buckwheat right there. Right? There we go. Look just like y'all. See that?
Man, they look like people in Alabama right there, boy.
See that? That's like y'all big head babies you got at home right now. Titty suckers. There they go right there.
They look like down South Mississippi.
You know. All right, go ahead. I
want to give a shout out and grace and peace to King Judah. King Judah, grace and peace to you, my
everybody.
brother.
Lima Star, King Judah TV, all of them, man. Most High bless everybody.
Yeah, Lima Star, yeah, exactly. So it says all of Israel returned to their cities after the captivity. After the captivity, right? Then let me read here. It says, and the children of Israel and the priests and the Levites and the rest of the children of the captivity, they kept the dedication of the house of their God, right? And offer at the dedication of this house of God 100 bullocks, 200 rams, 400 lambs, and four and blind offering, offering for all of Israel, and 12 he goats, according to the number of tribes of Israel, because they celebrated after the captivity. They offered 12 he goats according to the number of the tribes of Israel, because all the tribes returned from the captivity. The Jews who returned after their fathers' tribes. The book of Ezra 2 and 5. Watch this, folks. One more time. The Jews who returned after their fathers' tribes. This is from the book of Ezra, chapter 2, verse 5. Read that for me, Timothy.
The children of Arah, 775. God damn.
It said the children of Arah returned. after the captivity with Ezra and Nehemiah, etc., and Zerubbabel, the children of Arah. Let's see who is the children of Arah. First Chronicles 7:38. The sons of Asher. Read that for me, Timothy.
King James Bible. And the sons of Ulah, Arah, and Haniel, and Rizah.
So the children of Asher, these are the children of Asher that descend from Arah. The children of Asher descended from Arah. It says that from Arah, 720 of his descendants returned from the captivity during one wave of return. So his generation, all these people that return, they descend from Asher. They come from Asher. Let's go to the next here. Let's go to Luke 2. Read that for me right here. Luke chapter 2, 36 to 38.
Anna, a prophetess, was also there in the temple. She was the daughter of Phanuel from the tribe of Asher, and she was very old.
The book of Luke, right? She was there when they brought Christ in to be circumcised. She was of the tribe of Asher. Why? Because when you go back, it lets you know that the tribe of Asher returned after the captivity. And it says one more time in Ezra 2:5, the children of Arah that descend from Asher when you go to First Chronicles 7:38. Let's continue. When you go to the book of Ezra, chapter 2, verse 12, read that for me, Timothy.
The children of Asgad.
Wait. The children, slow down a little bit. Read that one more time. Pick it up from the top one more time.
Ezra 2:12, King James Version.
These are other people who return during one wave of return after the captivity. Go ahead and read it one more time.
The children of Asgad.
Stop. The children of Asgad return, folks. 1,222. 1,000. Now, this is, mind you, this is talking about one wave of return. You had 3 waves of return, led by Zerubbabel to go back and rebuild, and Ezra and Nehemiah. So this return is dealing with Ezra. It says how many return? Read that one more time. One more time, Timothy. One more time.
The children of Asgad. 1,222.
And 2 people that came back from the children of Asgad. Asgad is the children of Gad, the tribe of Gad. Right? Now you're looking at an image of the Gadites in West Africa, right here. You see these brothers right here? Hey, Qanath, when you look at these brothers, look at their fringes, right? Do these brothers from the tribe of Gad, do they look like they'll lay down quick when the white man came over and fought the Indians? No, the Gadites was good. They was great fighters. Man, these brothers, these Gadites look like they're kicking the white. They were man. Listen, them white folks, it would not have been easy fighting the Gadites. That's how you know that the Native American Indians were no damn Gadites. These brothers, they don't look soft. Look at these Gadites. Right? And you see, they from a town called Ubu Gad, meaning the house of Gad, from Uguleri. You see? Which descend from Gad. Now, we just read Asgad return, right? 1,000 that descend from Asgad, right? Now, read this from me, Timothy. This is from the Zondervan Illustrated Bible Dictionary. Let's see what it says about Asgad. Read that, Timothy.
Asgad, possibly Gad and Strong.
Gad and Strong. Go ahead.
Ancestor of a family that returned from the exile.
Now, read this part here. Right? No, you have to read all that. Read this part here where I got my cursor right there. Read that part.
Asgad, a descendant representing the clan, was among those who signed Nehemiah's covenant.
See that? Now let's go. Now we're going to the Strong's dictionary. Pick it up at the top where I got the cursor. Read that right there.
Asgad, and from H5794 and H1409.
Now look what it means. Go ahead. It means what? Go ahead.
Stern troop.
A stern troop. An Israelite. Now I continue. It says down here, it says hide outline. Biblically, as Gad, it means Gad is mighty because Gad was a strong, powerful fighting nation. It means Gad is mighty. So when you go back now to Ezra 2:12, you see that many of the Gadites returned after the captivity as well. Let's continue. Eleazar. Who was Eleazar? Eleazar, son of Anias, the grandson of Jaddua. One more time. Eleazar, son of Anias, the grandson of Jaddua. Now let's read Nehemiah chapter 12. Do me a favor, Timothy, pick it up right here, verse 20.
Verse 20.
Matter of fact, pick it up, verse 22. Verse 22.
Verse 22. The Levites in the days of Eliashib, Joiada, and Janan, Jaddua, were recorded chief of the fathers, also the priests to the reign of Darius the Persian.
So Nehemiah wrote about these men who was recorded chief of the fathers. One man name was Jaddua, or Jaddua. You see my cursor? His name was Jaddua, Jaddua. Now Eleazar, this guy named Eleazar was the son of Anias. He was the grandson of Jaddua. Now let's go read about Eleazar. Who was Eleazar? The first earliest high priest, son of Aaron, see Eleazar, but it was another Eleazar too. Another Eleazar. Eleazar was a Jewish high priest during the time of the second temple. See, he was the son of Ananias first and the brother of Simon. You see that? Eleazar was the high priest involved in the communication with Ptolemy in Egypt, discussed in the ladder of Aristus. According to the letter, Eleazar sent Eleazar. In fact, pick it up right. I got my cursor, Timothy. Read that part. What
Eleazar sent 72 scholars, 6 from each of the tribes of Israel. To the island.
Stop. Eleazar sent during the time of the second temple after the captivity. He was the grandson. Let's go back. I'm gonna show you guys something. He was the grandson of this guy mentioned in Nehemiah, Jaddua, Eleazar. Right? He's not mentioned in the Bible, but he's the grandson of this guy that returned from the captivity. Read that one more time. I got Eleazar. Read it one more time.
Eleazar sent 72 scholars, 6 from each of the tribes of Israel, to the island of Pharos, in order to provide the Library of Alexandria with a Greek translation of the Hebrew, also called the Septuagint.
The Septuagint. So Eleazar, who was the grandson of that guy named Jaddua mentioned in Nehemiah, he sent 72 scholars. 6. It says 6 from each tribe, also showing you that all the tribes returned after the captivity.
Hallelujah. Hey, look, my wife want to read a little bit, so she can read a little bit. So when we need to read this, I mean, she's available right now. Get Tim some rest a little bit.
All right, cool, great. I appreciate. Tell her I appreciate it.
So let's continue.
Let's continue. Now, Ananias is right here mentioning. This guy's mentioned in Nehemiah 12:12. Matter of fact, let me go back real quick. You see right here, Ananias. He's mentioned. What his name is that again? I saw his name anyway. Wait a minute. Let me back up here. I think I got a little too ahead of myself. Either way, this guy here, Ananias is right. It says he was the son of Jaddua mentioned in Nehemiah. According to Josephus, This Jaddua is said to have been contemporary of Alexander the Great, reigned from 336 through 323 BCE. Now let's continue. Let's see what Josephus wrote. Now we just read Eleazar sent how many Jews he sent down to Egypt to translate the Septuagint? He sent 17. He said 6 of each tribe, right? Now let's pick it up at number 6 here, where it says 51. Pick it up right there. This is from inside the book of Josephus. Eleazar, the priest, sent elder scribes from each tribe down to Egypt. So pick it up right there.
Where at 51? Where it says 651?
Yep.
Okay. When this epistle of the king was brought to Eleazar, he wrote an answer to it with all the respect possible.
Stop. The reason why?
Eleazar.
Wait. Let me say something. Because Ptolemy sent letters to Eleazar, asking Eleazar to send scribes down so they can translate the Hebrew to the Greek. So Eleazar responded. Now you can pick it up. Well, let's see what Eleazar said in his response. Letter back to Ptolemy. Go ahead. Well, I got the cursor right here.
The high priest to the king. Okay. Eleazar, the high priest, to King Ptolemy, sendeth greeting. If thou and thy queen Arsino, did I say that right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
And the children be well, we are entirely satisfied. When we receive thy epistle, we greatly rejoice at thy intentions.
Go ahead.
And when the multitude were gathered together, we read it to them, and thereby made them sensible of the piety thou hast towards Yah. We also showed them the 20 vials of gold and 30 of silver, and the 5 large basins, and the table for the shewbread, and also 100 talents for the sacrifices.
That's good. Let's continue now. That's good. Now let's skip down to verse 56. Where I got 56. Start right there. This is the continuation of the letters. Go ahead. Where I got 56.
We have also chosen 6 elders out of every tribe.
Wait, stop. Eleazar said wait, slow down. Eleazar said he chose how many?
6 elders.
Go ahead.
Out of every tribe. Whom we have sent and the law with them. Okay, I was just trying to make sure I didn't lose my place. It will be thy part out of the piety and justice to send back the law when it has been translated, and to return those to us that bring it in safety.
Right.
Farewell.
So that's right. So Eleazar told Ptolemy that we're going to send 6 men of each tribe to go down and translate the Hebrew to the Greek, but make sure you bring the laws of Moses back. Right. So the 6 elders, all black Jews of each tribe, they sent to Egypt to translate the Septuagint. This is verified in history. All the tribes was in the land. Let's continue. Tacitus described all Israel as Ethiopians. Read that part right here, my brother.
The Romans said the Jews were black.
Okay, now start reading right here.
Many again.
Go ahead. What? Go ahead. Start reading right here where it says many.
Many again say that they, the Jews, were a race of Ethiopian origin. Who in the time of King Cepheus were driven by fear and hatred of their neighbors to seek a new dwelling place.
Right there. Stop right there. So that's good. This is a source from the book The Histories, and I have this book also, Tacitus, a first century Roman historian. He said, many again say that they, the Jews, were a race of Ethiopian origin. Why? Because the Jews was a black race of people, as I just showed you from the statue, even of the statue of the Benin statue. Right now, right here you have on the left a statuette. This is a statuette of a Semitic prisoner. It says near the bottom left, a statuette of a Semitic prisoner in ancient Egypt in the 12th dynasty. You see that in the 18th through 19th century BCE at the Het Museum. So this is an ancient Hebrew Semite statue from Egypt, and you can see this statue. Wait, let me continue.
Go ahead.
You can see that the statue of this black Jew is in bondage, right? He's an Israelite in bondage. You can see his hands tied up. You can see he's below his garment, right? You want to say something, Timothy? Go ahead.
So they say that white people are Semitic. How is that possible when we not the same people at all? In order to be Semitic, y'all got to look the same. So they say it's something that they say in over there where the fake Jews at. Anytime somebody say something about being Semitic and all of this, they all lie. It's a well-known fact they gonna lie about being Semitic. So it's impossible for white people to be Semitic. We got to get that out there and make that
impossible. It's also impossible not just for white folks to be Semitic. It is impossible for Hispanics to be Semitic. It's impossible for Mexicans to be Semitic. They're not Semitic people. That's a fact. But either way, this is the ancient Hebrew statue in Egypt. Let's continue. From another book here, is Qanath wife available too? We got a lot more to get through.
Yes, I'm here.
I'm gonna have you start this book. This is the ancient book, another early century book here. The Jews of Spain and Portugal. All right, and the Inquisition. And it says you can't really see it, but I can see it below. It says 1877. Right. If you can see this, I got many other books a lot clearer than this. This is like the worst one. I couldn't get no clearer than that. If you can start with it was underlined here. If you can't,
I'll do my best.
Okay.
I believe it says subjected the Jews to the hardest possible conditions. They plundered them of their goods and valuables, even to their very clothes, and landed them naked and bare of everything on barren points of the African coast.
Of the who coast?
Of the African coast.
Go ahead.
Leaving them to die of starvation or to be sold into slavery to the Moors. Nor was this all. The king wrested from their parents all children between the ages of 3 and 10 of those Jewish immigrants who from poverty or otherwise.
So that's good. You see that? But it just says that these Jews to the hardest possible conditions. They was of the African coast. And again, this is from a source, a book called the Jews of Spain and Portugal and the Inquisition. Let's continue. This is an Inquisition of dispersion, right? Near below, it says it got a little index. It also talks about the black Jews. I'm not even gonna try to read that right now. I gotta scan this again. That's okay. Let's continue. Located in West Africa, a 700-year-old replica of the Ark of the Covenant found in Zimbabwe, Africa. One more time. A 700-year-old replica Ark of the Covenant found in Zimbabwe, Africa. And this is from the BBC News, right? Look what it says here. You can start it right here, Yashapal, right here. You can start reading.
A wooden object claimed to be a replica of the biblical Ark of the Covenant has gone on display at a Zimbabwe museum. The Ngomo Lungundu belongs to the Lemba people, Black Africans who claim Jewish ancestry.
Right.
They say the vessel was built almost 700 years ago from the remains of the original Ark, which the Bible says was used to store Moses' 10 commandments.
You see that?
For decades, the ancient vessel was thought to be lost until it was found in a storeroom in Harar recently. Tudor Parfit who'd rediscovered the artifact 3 years ago, told the BBC he believed it was the oldest wooden object ever found in sub-Saharan Africa.
You see that? He believed it was the oldest wooden object found in sub-Saharan Africa. The wood object is thought to be the oldest ever. It says right here, thought to be the oldest ever found in sub-Saharan Africa. Just to give you more proof of the Jews in Africa. Read this part here.
Tudor Parfit has spent years chasing a theory that lost tribe of Jews wound up in southern Africa, but his latest leap has landed him in a minefield.
You see that? So that's that same ark right there, the replica that he's looking at. That they have. This is ancient. This thing is old. You was about to say something, Timothy?
Yeah. Hey, how is it that this is what I wanted to ask? How is it that they always saying somebody like you got it buried somewhere, but you just not figuring out that this was down there? So y'all got so much stuff down there that y'all just forgot it was down there. That's kind of hard to believe. Right.
That's what you're talking about. All right, let's continue. The prophet. This is from the book, The Complete Guide to the Bible. The prophet from Judah. The prophet from Judah who God sent north to prophesy to Israel, right? The prophet from Judah. Who was the prophet from Judah that God sent to the north? This is inside the book here. It says, I got this part, Yashapa. It says, Amos lived in the southern Jewish nation of Judah. Amos, the prophet Amos. In fact, the prophet Amos, he prophesied before Isaiah. This prophet, in fact, he was one of the first prophets. Amos lived in the southern Jewish nation of Judah in the village of Tekoa. That's about a dozen miles south of Judah's capital, Jerusalem. He took his prophecy on the road to the northern Jewish nation of Israel. See, he went to preach or prophesy to the northern tribes with its capital in Samaria. Amos ministered to the middle to the high number 700 BC. He comes first among all the writing prophets. See, he was before all the prophets. The writing prophets, whose dates are known. He offers several clues about when he ministered. Now let's read the book of Amos 3:13. Can somebody read that for me?
Sure. Amos 3:13. Hear ye and testify in the house of Jacob, saith the Lord God, the God of hosts.
The God of who? Go ahead.
That in the day that I shall visit the transgressions of Israel upon him, I will also visit the altars of Bethel. And the horns of the altar shall be cut off and fall to the ground.
Now, mind you, he's prophesying to the northern kingdom because he was of the southern kingdom. And Amos was a prophet before even Isaiah. So God told him to go up to the north and prophesy to the tribes up north. Now, mind you, the nations that were surrounding the so-called northern kingdom, it was not Ethiopia. These were the nations surrounding the so-called northern kingdom. You had Ammon, Moab, you had Sidon over here, Ashkelon, Ashdod, Edom, the Amorites, the Jebusites down here, the Philistines. These were all the nations that surrounded the northern tribes. Not Ethiopia. Ethiopia did not surround the northern tribes. Read this part for me, Yashapa.
Sure. Ancient Sumer was the land of the black-headed people. One of Africa's many civilizations is that of Sumer, founded along the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in Asia Minor. It, in many respects, was a twin civilization of Kemet, spawned by the same progenitors of Nubia Kush. It mirrored Kemet in numerous areas.
Right, they're showing there was black people. The Assyrians called the people the black-headed race. And the reason why I want to touch on this real quick before we go back to Amos, right? So this is from the Annuals of Sennacherib. This is from inside my book here, the Annuals of Sennacherib. This is a real writings, right? And start picking up at verse 10.
The god of Assur, the great mountain and unrivaled kingship, has entrusted to me, and above all those who dwell in palaces, has made powerful my weapons from the upper sea of the setting sun to the lower sea of the rising sun. All humankind, the black-headed race, he has brought in submission at my feet.
You see that? He said that his God brought the black-headed race. Who were the black-headed race? all these nations right here, Ammon, Moab, Sidon, the Edom. So I'm gonna show you. Now let's go see what he's. Now these are the nations that he called a black-headed race. Pick it up at verse 51. These are all the nations that he called the black-headed peoples.
Tubalu, the Sidonite. Abdi Liti, the Avradite.
Yep.
Uru, Milki, the Gubilite.
Yep.
Mitiniti,
the
Ashadite. Beduilo, the Beth Ammonite.
He was the king. Yep.
Kamusu Nadbi, the Moabite.
See, he knew all their names. He knew all the kings' names personally. Verse 57. Who this guy named?
Malik Ramu, the Edomite.
Now you tell me a white man named Malik Ramu? You telling me that this guy was a white man? Malik Ramu? But let's go back. He just called all these people the black-headed race. 58.
Kings of Amaru, all of them, numerous presents as their heavy tribute.
They paid him tribute, right? All these nations, Sidonite, the Sidonians, etc. There was black people. Let's go to Genesis 10:7. Read that for me. Genesis 10:7.
And the sons of Cush, Seba, Hivala, and Sabata, and Ramah, and Sabtection, and the sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedan.
Right, but one of the sons of Cush was Seba, right? And Havilah, Seba. It says here that Ethiopia is way south. See, Ethiopia is way south. See, this is Israel right here, folks. So when God told Amos to go prophesy to the northern kingdom, Amos didn't come down here and prophesy. He went up here to the northern kingdom to prophesy. Well, you see my cursor, right? So Ethiopia is way south of Israel, right? Just below Egypt. Not even close. Amos compared Israel to the Ethiopians dwelling way south. Why he did not compare to these nations dwelling around Israel? Why he didn't say compared to the Ammonites or the Moabites? Why he said the Ethiopians? Why? Because they look like the Ethiopians. That was black. One more time. Ethiopia is way down here, a long ways from Israel, right? Amos went up to the northern kingdom and prophesied and said, "Are you not as the children of the Ethiopians unto me?" Now, this is in the Hebrew Cushite. The Hebrew Cushite means Negro. Can you read? Can you see this, Yashapa? Well, you can start. You can start right here. Where I got my cursor.
Cushite, Negro, Ethiopian.
That's good. You ain't got to read no more. So the word Cushite in the Hebrew, it means Negro. Negro. Right? Are you not as the children of the Negro unto me? Now you look at this image here. These are northern kingdom Jews going into captivity. This is from the wars of Assyria. You can see their fringes, their garments. You can see the fringes right here. And this. I don't know if this is a garment. I don't know what this is. You can see they carrying this thing on their shoulder, right? But later on, you can see they close up. This is the black northern kingdom Jews right here. Anybody want to say something?
No, you're fine.
Let's continue. The continent of Africa in ancient times was considered Cush and the ocean. Look at the map, folks. You see the ocean over here with my cursor? This is called the Ethiopian Ocean. This is called Ethiopia. See this? Ethiopia, right in all this area. Look at here in the west side of Africa. Ethiopia in ancient times was called Cush. Amos 9:7. Are ye not as the children of the Ethiopians unto me? Meaning this here. Are ye not as the children of the blacks unto me? That's what God is saying. Because when you go back one more time, you see Israel is way north of Ethiopia. This is Ethiopia in the green. Ethiopia is below Egypt. So Amos went and prophesied to the northern kingdom. So God is comparing them to look like the Ethiopians who was black. Are you not as the children of the blacks unto me, the Ethiopians?
Also, Yehuda, Shah Shamir brought up, sorry, real quick. Shah Shamir showed in the Hebrew where it says Ethiopian means Negro.
We just showed it right here.
Oh, okay, yeah, there it is. Yep.
And you can see the Northern Kingdom Jews right over here. See? I'm on the ball, Qanath.
Okay.
And look, they get, how you say, they getting Foped up tonight. Now, listen here, folks. Listen here. This on the right, no, left side, you see this Yashipah and Timothy? On the left side, this is a real Ethiopian Jew. Now, look at her, and then look at the real Cushite Ethiopians.
They look like us over here.
See, these niggas in these camps, they got it twisted. Talk about Beta Israel, not Israelites. They've been keeping Torah for thousands of years. They are a mixture of all the tribes. And I'm going to show you as we continue the presentation. But you can clearly see the features are different. Right? You can clearly see it. Let's continue. Same thing. A real Jew on the left side. A real Cushites on the right side.
Good.
See? See, we gotta get educated, man. We can't be up Aria's ass all the time with these weak ass doctrines they be teaching out here. You see, Beta Israel look like you and me. They look like us. This is Beta Israel right here. They look just like we do. Okay,
Yehuda, I want to say something real quick.
Go ahead.
When Qanath and our children were small, I want to say like about 3 and 4. We went to the store, and the store was run by Ethiopians.
Right.
And they looked at me and they looked at my children. They said, "Ethiopian?"
Right.
And we said no, but they thought we're Ethiopians.
They thought it was Ethiopian. Yeah.
I think Qanath told me that story before. And you know why they thought? You know why they say that? Ethiopian is just a term, a name that was given to them because they were dwelling in Ethiopia for thousands of years, just like you call American. It's the same damn thing. That's why they call Ethiopians, just like you call an American, because they live in Ethiopia, but they are not the bloodline inhabitants of Ethiopia. These are the bloodline inhabitants of Ethiopia on the left side. These are the people right here. These are Beta of Israel, meaning the children of Israel. These are people who migrated into Ethiopia over thousands of years. So it's a difference. And they got Semitic features. Semitic. A lot of African, so-called African Americans, we did more mixture than the Jews, especially in East Africa. They didn't mix their seed as much. And I just showed in the old book we just read, they said they only mixed. But let's continue. This is another old book here. It's called Africa, Accuracy of Descriptions. Let's go inside and see what it says. Pick it up right here, somebody. Yashipah right here. This book here is printed in. This book was printed in 1800s also. In the 1800s. Go ahead, pick it up right here.
Okay. Many Jews also are scattered over this region, from natives. I can't see that word right there.
I think it's this word here. I think it's boasting. Okay. It's written like in the old. It's written like in the old English. It's all boasting.
Boasting themselves of Abraham's seed, inhabiting both sides of the river Niger.
Niger.
Others are Asian strangers who fled thither either from the desolation of Jerusalem.
I can't even see that word, but I'm just showing you that they verifying right here. They verifying that the Jews over this region, right? They boasting of Abraham and says and inhabiting the side of the river Nile, the Nile River, or the river Niger. The river Niger is in West Africa. So it said these Jews are boasting that they're the Jews living near the Niger River in Africa.
And it says from the desolation of Jerusalem. I can't see that word. And it says, or from Judea. Walked and depopulated by the Romans.
It said walked.
You see that? Right here. Or from Judea, they walked and depopulated by the Romans. Because I just showed you, it says that the Roman Empire or the book of Josephus, that the Jews fled, and they said they fled from beyond the Roman Empire. They was long way from the Roman Empire. The 10 tribes. Let's go to another source. Let's continue. Beta Israel. Read this part up here for me, Yashipah. Well, I got the cursor. Beta Israel.
Beta Israel, kingdom of Simeon.
The kingdom of who?
Simeon.
Kingdom of Simeon. Also spelled in different ways. The kingdom of Simeon. Read this part up here.
The fabled kingdom of Simeon, Hebrew, sometimes referred to the kingdom of Beta Israel. Refers to legendary kingdom of the Beta Israel, putatively located in the northwestern part of the Ethiopian Empire.
Yeah, the kingdom of Simeon. And you can see
you gotta be wrong. They over here. Simeon is Simeon is I forgot what the hell they said that chart is, man. Come on, man. This is crazy.
You see that? Look at this old map. Simeon, they had a kingdom, right? The Ashamite Empire, Beta Israel. Let's continue. Read this part here. Simeon. Let's read more about Simeon. Read that part.
The kingdom of Simeon, sometimes referred to as the kingdom of Beta Israel, was an ancient kingdom of the Beta Israeli population centered in the northwestern part of the Ethiopian.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was in the United States. According to One West.
Was an ancient kingdom of the Beta Israeli population centered in the northwestern part of the Ethiopian Empire that came to an end in 1627 during the reign of Ethiopian Empire Susianos. First, there is a disagreement regarding the exact time of the establishment of the kingdom. It was preceded by a number of regions which were in Jewish rule in the northwestern part of Ethiopia. The Jewish Ethiopian tradition dates the establishment of the kingdom of Simeon to the 4th century, right after the kingdom of Aksum turned to Christianity during the reign of Azana of Aksum.
You see that? So the kingdom of Simeon lasted all the way up to about 1627 AD. The kingdom of Simeon. You can see another map here. You see Nubia, the kingdom of Simeon. That's the Red Sea right here. This is Ethiopia right here. Right? You can see these black Jews right here, this Beta of Israel. They look just like you and I. You see these brothers right here? Let's continue. Read this part for me, Yashipah.
A late Jewish Ethiopian legend dates the establishment of the kingdom of Simeon to the 4th century, right after the kingdom of Aksum turned to Christianity during the reign of Izana of Aksum.
You see that? They turned to Christianity. But you can see these black Ethiopians look just like, man, look like some of my family members, bro.
Right.
And look at this elder right here in Ethiopia, this black Jew. Let's go. Let's move on. Where are the 10 tribes? We're not going to read all this. This is also from another ancient manuscript. Where are the 10 tribes? I want you to read this part. Start right here where I got my cursor, if you can see it. We're not going to read all this stuff. Just going to read just a little bit. Start right here where I got my cursor. You can see it. If you're not, I'll do it. If you're not, I'll read it. If not, you can't see it.
Yeah, you're going to have to read that one.
Hold on a second. Let me grab my glasses. I'm getting old, man.
I have on my glasses and I can't see.
I can see it. It says right here.
I can't even make it bigger myself.
It says right here. In fact, now what I'm going to do in the future, I'm going to take it and scan it, and I'm going to make it bigger. Make it more clearer. In fact, the return of the 10 tribes was one of the great promises of the prophets, and the advent of the Messiah, see where I got the hand? The Messiah is therefore necessarily identified with the epoch of their redemption. But it says, because of the Messiah, that's why the 10 tribes return back to the land. Qanath, didn't we do lessons about the return of the 10 tribes back to Christ in Second Ezra?
Yeah, we already did that lesson.
So this just backs it up. Let's go to the next one. Let's start right here. I'm going to start reading right here. It says here, you see my cursor. As the day is sometimes dark, and the 10 tribes with whom is darkness, because the Bible said that the 10 tribes walked in darkness and has seen a great light, and Christ was the light. Which it said, which or with whom is the darkness will see light, meaning Christ, right? And it says again that Midrash Rabbah mentions that the 10 tribes wandered into exile on the other side of the river in San Batian. And you can read about that being in Africa. They had, but watch this. Let's continue now. You can see over on the left side, you see an old map of Africa. Let's continue right here where I got my cursor.
She can read it now.
Okay, go ahead.
I figure how to blow it up on our end.
Read it right here. Where I got my cursor right here.
Sure. The dark mountains represent Africa, which Alexander the Great, according to a Talmudic legend, had to pass in order to go to Carthage. Of the Sambattian, we have already spoken.
Okay, you can stop right there. But it says, do me a favor, pick it up here where I got my cursor. Pick it up right here.
There are variations. Instead of the cloud, which covers one part of the exiles, we read elsewhere, inside of the cloud of darkness. And in another version, inside the dark mountains. The dark mountains represent Africa.
They're letting you know that the 10 tribes went into Africa. This is just another source. But let's continue. Let's continue. The Portuguese in West Africa, 1415 through 1670. Let's continue. Let's see. This is an article on page 1. This is an article. Can you see this, Nashipa?
Yes.
Let me know if y'all need me to read now.
Sure.
Okay. Well, go ahead, Timothy. Can you see that? If you can't see it, because I blew it up on my side.
Start right here where I got the line, where I got underline right here, where the cursor's at.
I can see it.
Okay, go ahead.
In fact, no, you know what? No. You know what? Start right here where it says, but start right here. Pick it up from the top. What's it together? Pick it up from the top.
Together, a collection of documents, the majority in New English translation, that illustrate aspects of the encounters between the Portuguese and the peoples of North and West Africa. This period witnessed the diaspora of the Sephardic Jews, the immigration of the Portuguese to West Africa and the islands,
Go ahead.
and the beginnings of the black diaspora associated with the slave trade.
The beginning of the who?
The black diaspora associated. Say it again.
Read it one more time, Timothy. Beginning what? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Where you want me to start back at?
No, read this part where I got the cursor. Beginning. Read that part one more time.
The beginnings of the black diaspora associated with the slave trade.
See that? That's it. Now jump down where I got it highlighted right here. It said the documents. Start right there.
The documents also describe the evolution of the black Portuguese communities in the Ghana and the islands.
That's good. So I'm just showing, just giving more evidence. Another source talking about the Jews being black. And it talks about the beginnings of the black diaspora associated with the slave trade, right? But it talks about how they went to Africa, right? Now, this is another source. The European magazine, right? The European magazine and London Review, volume 75, is printed in 1819. Okay? Once again, the European magazine review printed in 1819, volume 75. Now on page 495, early century, it says early century European encountered. Early century Europeans, they encountered the 10 tribes, right? They encountered the 10 tribes. In fact, can you blow it up for me, Qanath?
Say it again.
Can you blow this up for me while I got the cursor right here?
Come here, Joshua. I'll blow it up and she'll read it for you.
Blow it right here. Where I got the
right hand side or left hand side?
Right hand side, right here where I got my cursor, right here. Yeah, blow that up.
Oh man, can you see it with it blown up?
Where's it?
Right there.
Where I got the cursor right here. On the right side.
It says something, a place of great something. It's still blurry on my end.
Okay, I'll read it. No problem. I can see it. It says here. Now this is from the European magazine London Review on page 495. You see I got my cursor? It says here. It says that Yehudi, a place of great trade. It says the place is reported to be inhabited by one of the lost tribes of Israel, possibly an immigration from the tribe of Judah. See, but it talks about the inhabitants of one of the lost tribes of Israel and immigration from the tribe of Judah. So this is another source verifying that the black Jews are in Africa. The tribe of Simeon. There's an image also on the right side. Do these people look like Hispanics and Mexicans to you?
Nope.
Tito Taco Bell.
It's crazy, man. There's the three Israelite kingdoms. You have the Israelite kingdom in the land of Israel, Cush and Havilah. You can see, as you can see here, you see the Israel right here. You see Cush, which is Ethiopia, etc., and Havilah. Havilah was also a descendant of Ham. Havilah, right? And then you had the kingdom of Sheba, and right in this area and in this area also. Let's continue. The Lost Tribes, a myth by Alan Gabe on page 257. It showed the Negro Jews map. Let's click and see and get a closer look at this map. You can see right here on the left side, you see B'nai Ephraim right here. But you see it better right here. See on the right side? That's B'nai Ephraim. On the which map is this again? The Lost Tribes, a myth by Alan Gabe and 257 Negro Jews map. But you see it, Timothy?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Timothy, he stepped away too.
No, I'm here. I was doing something while the sister was reading, but I'm back. I'm here.
Yeah, but this is the close up of the map. You can see B'nai Ephraim right here. B'nai Ephraim, right in West. Go ahead.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want everybody to listen because we had one character come on here who wanted to be Issachar, and just you look at a lot of people. If you notice, every time we dig up something, information in the scriptures, historians, maps, right? It's two words always coming up: Negro or black. Negro or black.
Yep.
In a map, in books, Negro. You don't see these other H-towns popping up, right? It's Negro or black, and then people say, "Why y'all always thinking Israel or black or Negro?" And that's all you keep finding is Negro and black. Out of everything, how many? I mean, we got to find a million books say Negro and black. It's always Negro and black. Negro and black. Everywhere.
Right.
So, you just got that one. Every damn thing we pulling up in books, maps, right? Negro and black. But go ahead, everybody didn't see this. This is
like it's something wrong with being Negro and black.
Exactly. I mean, that's all we keep pulling up.
But either way, this is a West African map from the book, the Negro Jews map, showing you B'nai Ephraim right here. Ain't no getting around it. B'nai Ephraim right here on the old map. Let's continue. The Jews of Laos, Sudan. Nashipal, can you start reading right here? What it said, describe. Can you see that?
Sure. It says, describes West African Jewish communities who are connected to known Jewish communities from the Middle East, North Africa, or Spain and Portugal. Various historical records attest to their presence at one time in the Ghana, Mali, and Songhai empires, then called the Balad as Sudan, from the Arabic meaning land of the blacks.
Land of the blacks.
Land of the blacks.
Here we go again, Qanath.
Hold up, dude.
I mean, how much more do you want?
It didn't say the land of the Mexican and the white or the Asian.
Exactly.
It didn't say no land of Hispanics, land of no white Jew. It said land of the blacks. Go ahead. You can continue.
Jews from Spain, Portugal, and Morocco in later years also formed communities off the coast of Senegal, right, and on the islands of Cape Verde.
Stop real quick. On the coastline of Senegal, we know who's over there later formed the community. So when they was in Spain and Portugal, right? Because that's where our brother Jonathan grandfather come from, who's blacker than the ace of spade, okay, from Portugal. So these people lived in them countries, right? And they were black, and they moved to what's the countries getting moved to? What? Senegal, which we know who's in Senegal.
And on the islands of Cape Verde.
And on the islands of Cape Verde. These are all in Africa.
All in Africa. Yep.
All in Africa, black people, right? Just like you have some African Americans, be black over here. Yeah. We moved to Africa. Well,
yeah, like it's something wrong being black. When did it become bad being black? Somebody explain that one to me.
I think it's because they're not the first, second, or third generation.
Yeah, but you got black.
They're not the fourth generation. They're the first, second, and third generation. They're not the fourth, fifth generation.
Right, I got
you. You know what I mean? They mans are. That's why.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, go ahead, continue though, so we can just keep going through.
Yeah, let's go.
Sure.
Hey, look, did you real quick? I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you get in contact with Yavin or Kahan? Somebody come up here too?
Yeah, Yavin. He's doing a business plan.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Yashua.
I think they both can handle it.
These communities continue to exist for hundreds of years, but have since disappeared due to changing social conditions, persecution, migration, and assimilation.
Okay, go top and continue.
Okay.
Where it says according to.
This is in the way.
Yeah, can't do that.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay, I read. I see the thing in the way.
F.O.P.E. Israelite School.
I read. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna read the first paragraph. You read the one below.
Okay, sure.
The top paragraph says, according to the most accounts, the earliest Jewish settlements in Africa were in places such as Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco. Jews have settled along the Upper Nile and Elephantine. We're going to talk about Elephantine soon, and Egypt. These communities were augmented by subsequent arrivals of Jews after the destruction of the Second Temple in Jerusalem in 70 CE, and when 30,000 Jewish slaves were settled throughout Carthage by the Roman Emperor Titus. Go ahead, you can read the bottom paragraph.
Africa is identified in various Jewish sources in connection with Tarshish and Ophir.
Go ahead.
The Septuagint and Jerome, who was taught by Jews, and very often the Aramaic Targum and the prophets identify the biblical Tarshish with Carthage, which was the birthplace of a number of rabbis mentioned in the Talmud.
Go ahead.
Africa, in the broader sense, is clearly indicated where mention is made of the 10 tribes having been driven into exile.
Hey, before she finished, there's too much meat in there, man. We got to address some of this meat before she even finished that. Because we talk about the Aramaic language in Assyria. We talk about Tarshish and Ophir.
Yep.
It's a lot of meat up in there. If you want to address that, we can just keep going through it. Because we already touched on some of this in previous classes.
Yeah, but it says, it says that Africa, in the broader sense, is clearly indicated where the mention is made of the 10 tribes having been driven into exile by the Assyrians and having journeyed into Africa.
No, I thought they came to America.
Thank you.
The 10 tribes went to Africa, speaking Aramaic, Israel, the combined language. Oh my!
Right, exactly.
They went to Canada.
Right.
Hey, Yashua, pick it up right here. I got my cursor. Finish it up right here.
Connected with this is the idea that the river Sambation is in Africa. The Arabs, who also know the legend of the Beni Musa, sons of Moses, agree with the Jews in placing their land in Africa.
In Africa. Thank you very much. Let's continue. This is a close-up of that map we just showed you. B'nai Ephraim, the children of Ephraim from Nigeria, living among the Yoruba nationalities. Their oral history tells that B'nai Ephraim's people, right? Now watch this here. This is an upside-down map. An upside-down map of Africa from 1520 showing the tribe of Issachar right next to the tribe of Judah. Let's go see it now. Here's the close-up right here, that same up map. This Issachar right here. Next, it is Niger right here. Niger. You see, Issachar right here. And in Africa today, there are many people, a group of people who claim to be descendants of Issachar as we speak in Africa.
Actually, we done a video on that where they were saying they was from tribe Issachar.
Exactly. So again, this is an upside down map of Africa showing it says down below showing the tribe of Issachar right here, Issachar, right? And then the tribe of Issachar, like these brothers and sisters here. You can read this now, Shapar, if you want to.
Yep. There they go.
You see the book they hold right here? These brothers and sisters is in South Africa. Yep. South African Jews claim the tribe of Issachar.
And we in touch with them too, by the way.
Yep. You can read that part for me right there if you want to.
Sure. South African Jews claim the tribe of Issachar. In fact, God chose the sons of Issachar as one of the 3 tribes to go out in front of Israel whenever the nation moved. Judah, the praising people, went first. Then Issachar, the wise and discerning ones. And Zebulon, the financiers. That's quite a combination at Pretoria, South Africa.
South Africa. And them brothers and sisters look just like we do, don't they, Qanath?
Nah, but like Julio Cesar Chavez. Hey, Lima, stop. Put the link in the room. Lima, stop. Moderator, somebody put the link in the room.
Listen, it's going to get even better. We ain't scratched the surface, bro. No, let's move on. 2 Kings 15-29, the tribe of Naphtali taken captives. Right? This is from inside of our brother's book. And I advise you guys to go buy his book, Professor Lee Cummings. This is it from inside one of his books. I actually have these images also showing the tribe of Naphtali taken to captivity. You can see here, First Chronicles 6. In fact, let me get my glasses real quick here. First Chronicles. You can read it. Okay, go ahead and read that. Read that.
First Chronicles 6:71.
Start right here. What says Reuben?
Sure. Reuben, Gad, Naphtali, Levi, and Manasseh. Relief from Nimrod, Iraq, British Museum. First Chronicles 6:71. Gershom, the Levite, was given land in Manasseh. Ashtaroth. Numbers 32:1. The children of Reuben and Gad. 2 Kings 15-29. The Tiglath. What's his name? Tiglath-Pileser. He was a king. He was a king of the Assyrians. Well, he took all the land of Naphtali captive.
Yeah, Tiglath. His name is Tiglath-Pileser. He took all the land of Naphtali captive. You can read about that in 2 Kings 15-29, as I have here. 2 Kings 15-29. Read the bottom part right here. Now, right here. The bottom.
This image is actually giving us an eyewitness account of 5 Hebrew Israelite tribes going into captivity, and is indisputable. This is critical for serious students.
Now, let's see. Let's look at the close-up of Naphtali. Right? Look like Scottie Pippins.
Yeah, they do, right?
There's another close-up, not too clear, but you can clearly see. See, I'm an artist. I have a BFA in art. You can clearly see. Look at the cheek, the high cheek region. You can clearly see the African features.
That look like my cheek.
You can clearly see the Hebrew black features, right? You can clearly see it. Look at the hair texture. Look at the hair texture. Okay, a close-up of a Naphtali Negro Jew. This is what they look like close up. Black. Northern Kingdom. Let's continue. Let me go back. So you folks can ponder on this, but you haven't seen nothing yet. Nothing. Wait till we continue. A black Northern Kingdom Jew close up, right? Says here the Sahara Desert named after Hebrew origin. One more time. The Sahara Desert named after Hebrew origin. Read that part for me, somebody, right here.
I got it. The name Sahara is of Hebrew origin. The meaning of Sahara is moon. It is also of Arabic origin, where its meaning is wilderness, Sahara is generally used as a girl's name.
Like Sarah, Abraham's wife Sarah. Abraham's wife Sarah, or sister, his half sister that he married. So the Sahara is of a Hebrew origin. Okay, let's move on. Jeremiah, the weeping prophet. Jeremiah was called the weeping prophet. Jeremiah, right? It says Petros and Elephantine Jews. The Elephantine Jews. Let's read about the Elephantine Jews. You can see here Petros. Okay, the Jews fled south into Africa, fleeing from the Babylonians. Read this for me right here, Jeremiah 44, verse 1, somebody. Jeremiah 44, verse 1.
The word that came to Jeremiah concerning all the Jews which dwell in the land of Egypt, which dwell at Migdol, and at the Tapanese, and at Noth, and in the country of Petros, saying,
of Petros. So God told Jeremiah to warn the Jews that fled, because God told the Jews not to flee into Egypt, but they did anyway, because they wanted to flee away and get away as further south as possible from the Babylonians, right? So they fled into the country of Petros. Petros was part of the lower, or well, close to Ethiopia, right? Matter of fact, let's go inside this book here. The letters from beyond the Sambatian, the myth of the 10 lost tribes. Pick it up right here where it has a yellow. Let's see what it says about the lost tribes where it has yellow. Pick it up right there.
The enemy, on the other hand, took some of the prisoners and sold them as slaves. A few of these,
talking about the Jews, go ahead.
A few of these were brought to Cairo and redeemed by the Jews there.
Redeemed by their own brothers when they were sold as slaves. Go ahead.
I saw 2 of them in Cairo.
Go ahead, in Cairo.
They were black.
They were who?
Black.
They were black. Go ahead.
But not so black as the Negroes.
What do you mean by not so black as the Negroes? He talking about the local inhabitants of Africa. Those Hamites were real dark. They look like they jet black. That's what he's talking about.
See that?
Right? And this here, written around 1488. Let's go to the next.
The word black again.
Okay, to his brother in Jerusalem. Now this guy here, right here says Obadiah Jir. Obadiah Jir was a Jew. He was a Jew, right? He wrote to his brother, right? Look what it says here. To his brother Jerusalem. He wrote this in 1489. Let's read it. Let's see what he says. Hey, pick it up right there. Read right here. Let's see what Obadiah Jir said. Go ahead.
Jews have come here to the Holy Land from Aden. Aden is said to be the site of the Garden of Eden. It lies southeast of Ethiopia.
See that? Go ahead.
The Red Sea separates them. These Jews say that in their country there are many large Jewish communities.
Stop. You heard Obadiah Jir said? Obadiah Jir in 1489? He said right down below by Ethiopia, he said that these Jews say that their country, there are many large Jewish communities. That it says that the king is an Arab. They had an Arab king and is very kindly disposed to the Jews. But he said that he spoke to Jews in 1489 that said there was many Jewish communities in Ethiopia, in southeast Ethiopia. Let's continue. Pick it up right here. What says where it's highlighted. In fact, let me go back. Let's continue. Let me pick it up here. And that the country is very large and beautiful, bearing many splendid fruits and kinds which are not to be found among us, right? Where paradise was actually situated, they do not know. They sow in the month of Adar, March, and reap in Kislev in December. It says the rainy seasons, there is from Passover to the month of Av or August. It is a consequence of the great quantity of rain that falls there, that the Nile River rises in the month of Av or whatever. Read that part in the yellow now.
Its inhabitants are somewhat black.
Somewhat who?
The Jews, somewhat black.
That's all I gotta read. That's all. Let's continue. This just continue our evidence to show and prove that the Jews is a black race of people. We never did a metamorphosis, right? This is from the modern Jewish history of Tacitus on the Jews. Tacitus seen the Jews with his own eyes and said many people thought the Jews were Ethiopians, right? Let's read it one more time right here. Some say that the Jews were fugitives from the island of Crete who settled on the nearest coast of Africa about the time when Saturn was driven from the throne by the power of Jupiter. Evidence of this is sought in the name. There is a famous mountain in the creek called Ida, the neighboring tribe. It says this Ida came to be called Judah, or Judea, by the barbarous lengthening of the national name. Others assert that in the region of Isis, the overflowing population of Egypt, led by Hierosolymus, I can't pronounce this guy, and Judas, charged itself into the neighboring countries. Many again say that they were a race of Ethiopian origin. Okay, so many people thought the Jews were of Ethiopian origin because they was black. Israel black Syrian forefathers. Israel black Syrian forefathers. Yes, Israel had black Syrian forefathers. In fact, Jacob was a Syrian. This is a portrait of a black Syrian nobleman dated 150 through 200 CE. So this is a black Syrian. You see it, right? You see it, Timothy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see that.
Okay, this is a Syrian, right? Watch this. Read this Deuteronomy 26 chapter verse 5. Read that, right? Read that for me.
And thou shalt speak and say before Yahweh thy power, a Syrian ready to perish was my father.
Stop right there. What did Moses call Jacob? Hey, who?
A Syrian.
Go ahead. Read it one more time. Read it one more time.
Start from the beginning.
You can pick it up. Yeah, you want to. Go ahead.
And thou shalt speak and say before Yahweh thy power, a Syrian ready to perish was my father. And he went down into Egypt and sojourned there with a few, and became there a nation, great, mighty, and populous.
So it said that Jacob went down to Egypt, and Jacob was called a Syrian. Okay? But showing you this statue of a Syrian man as black, Negro. This is what Jacob looked like. Let's verify even more. Yashapah there? Look what it says here. This is the Old Testament of the pseudepigrapha. You know, you don't have to believe in the pseudepigrapha. Many of these writings are ancient. Some writings are from the early century. Either way, it was written by real Jews, and they had more history of our people than any other people. Right? So Jacob described as a Negro in this book right here. Let's see what the ancient writers wrote about Jacob. Let's see what they said. Now, this is from the book Joseph and Asenath, right? Joseph and Asenath, right? Ephraim and Manasseh's mother. And this is when Joseph first took her to go meet Jacob in Goshen, right? So he took her to go meet Jacob in Goshen. Now let's pick it up, Nashapah, right here, and let's see what it says about Jacob. Pick it up right there at the top.
Okay. All right. And Asenath said to Joseph, I will go and see your father, because your father is like a father to me.
Stop right there, real quick. Now, remind you, now these is written by ancient scribes, ancient Hebrew scribes that had the history of our people. Go ahead.
And Joseph said to her, "Ye shall go," I think it says, "with me to see my father." And Joseph and Asenath went to the land of Goshen to Jacob. Joseph's brothers met them and prostrated themselves face down to the ground before them. And they went in to Jacob. And Israel was sitting on his bed.
Right there. It said Israel, meaning Jacob, was sitting on his bed because he was an old man at the time. When Joseph first took his wife to go meet him in Goshen, he was an old man. Go ahead.
And he was an old man in comfortable old age. And Asenath saw him and was amazed at his beauty.
Yeah, she was amazed at Jacob's beauty. Go ahead.
Because Jacob was exceedingly beautiful to look at. And his old age was.
You know why? Because black people don't age like other people.
Black don't crack.
Right.
We don't age. Trust me, we don't age like other people. Go ahead.
Black don't crack.
And his old age was like the youth of a handsome young man. And his head was all white as snow. And the hairs of his head were all exceedingly close and thick, like those of an Ethiopian.
Wait a minute. Jacob had hair like who?
An Ethiopian.
Our forefather Jacob had hair like an Ethiopian. He was a Negro looking man. Go ahead.
And his beard was white, reaching down to his breast.
That's good. They know how to read them more. And he had a long beard. But it said that Jacob had hair like the Ethiopians. And these are real Ethiopians with thick hair. Let me read it one more time. And his head was all white because he was old. And the hairs of his head were all exceedingly close and thick like those of an Ethiopian. Just as you see here. You see a guy, look at this thick Ethiopian hair. This is what Jacob had, that nappy good hair. You see?
Yep. Qanath said, just like him.
Like Qanath. so it said that Jacob had hair like those of an Ethiopian.
Hold on, let me show you Qanath. Hold on. Hey, nappy, just like Qanath.
Yeah, Jacob had that nappy, thick hair, man.
Look at that hair to the right. Look at it.
Right.
No bull. Mine look just like that.
You were saying anything about Jacob having hair like a goat? Let me read it one more time.
Hold up. So that means that the white people ain't got that hair. The Mexican man, Latinos, and all of them, they ain't got that hair. The Asian people ain't got that hair. The fake Arabs ain't got that hair. Eastern. Lord,
you know why? Because they are recessive people. Anybody who has that kind of hair, they are recessive people. That's why.
I got hey, Yehuda, wait till they see me, you and Shasham documentary we're gonna do.
Oh yeah, they ain't seen nothing.
Y'all ain't seen nothing yet.
But one more time, it says, and Jacob here. Now these are written by ancient Hebrew scribes. Jacob's hair and head were all exceedingly close and thick, like those of an Ethiopian. Now you tell me. And it said that Jacob was a what? He was a Syrian. Deuteronomy 26 chapter verse 5. And thou shalt speak and say before the Lord thy God, a Syrian, Jacob, ready to perish was my father, and he went down to Egypt. So Jacob was a Syrian. He had hair like an Ethiopian. Now somebody read this for me. Genesis 28:5.
And Isaac sent away Jacob, and he went to Paddan-aram to Lebanon, son of Bethuel, the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah.
You see, just more confirmation. They was called Syrians. Jacob was called a Syrian or Aramean. Some translations say Aramean, some say Syrian. The same thing. He was called a Syrian. When you go back here, it shows you that the Syrians was black. But let's get more further proof that the Syrians was black. Let's go read this here. King Hazel, anointed king by Elijah. Read that for me right there.
And Yahweh said unto him, Go, return on thy way to the wilderness of Damascus, and when thou comest, anoint Hazael to be king over Syria, and Jehu, the son of Nimshi, shalt thou anoint to be king over.
That's good. That's good. So God told Elijah to anoint Hazael to be king of Syria. Now we just showed you that Jacob was a Syrian, and Jacob looked like a Negro. Now let's see what King Hazael looked like. This is King Hazael. King Hazael's image, a black Negro Syrian man. He was a Negro. This is him right here. This is his likeness.
Like my grandfather.
Okay, just as Jacob was a Syrian, hair like an Ethiopian, King Hazael also was a black Syrian Negro man. Anybody want to say something?
That just look like my grandfather.
Okay, so Jacob and Hazael both called Syrians and both Negro looking. Let's continue. Hey, Qanath, I think we'll stop at about 4:15 and we'll do a part 2.
Okay.
Or 4:30, we'll do a part 2.
We start around 4:30.
Yeah, 4:30. 4:30. Let's continue. Naaman the clean leper. He also was a Syrian, a black man. Look what it says here. The 2 Kings 5:1. Now Naaman, captain of the host of the king of Syria, was a great man with his master, and honorable, because by him the Lord had given deliverance into Syria. He was also a mighty man in Bala, but he was a leper. Right? 2 Kings 5:14. And then they went he down and dipped himself 7 times in Jordan, according to the sayings of the man of God. And his flesh came again, like unto the flesh of a little child, and he was clean. So Naaman turned back black, like King Hazael, you see here. You see that? Because Naaman also was a Syrian. He was a black Negro looking man. Let's continue. Yashipar, you there? Okay, yes, Timothy. Okay, do me a favor, Yashipar. Read this part here. These are the synagogue black Jews say their ancestors migrated from Egypt. Read this part here, the blue at top.
The lush kapok tree towers over the parched shrubbery at the edge of Beni Israel, a dusty community in eastern Senegal near the border with Mali. The residents, all Muslims, are members of a tribe whose name means sons of Israel.
You see that?
And they trace their lineage to 2 clans, the Cilia and Drain. They say are descended from Egyptian Jews.
You see that? Now read that part.
Starting at the top?
No, you can start. Yeah, you want to, if you want to.
I can start where your cursor is. I see your cursor.
Oh, yeah, start here. Okay, start right here. Yep.
Okay. We are all practicing Muslims, and we do not want to become Jewish, Fadiga says. In fact, we don't like to talk too much about our Jewish background.
You see that?
We don't hide it either.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But we don't hide it either. We know our people came from Egypt to Somalia, and from there to Nigeria, where they split about 1,000 years ago.
Yep.
One branch of the 2 families went to Mali, another to Guinea, and we settled here.
You see that? They said they became Muslims, as we all know through history. The Jews, many of the Jews were forced to become Muslims. They said we became Muslims. We don't deny our ancestry, though. They said we don't deny being Jews. That's what he says here. He says, in fact, we don't like to talk too much about our Jewish background, but we don't hide it either. You see that? They don't hide it. And you can see the image of one of these Jews right here. This is an image drawn of one of these Jews right here in Senegal. A black man. Okay? This is a real drawing right here, folks. Or illustration. Let's continue. Same thing. These are the synagogue Jews right here. You see these brothers, Qanath?
Yep.
And they sitting with this white man right here, who they say is Esau. They say he's Esau.
Right.
Now listen. Now, imagine this real quick. Now, imagine this is Esau growing up in Jacob's family. Come on, man, stop it.
Right, and also went in the cat. And when they went into captivity with us.
Exactly. But here's a Jews in synagogue. Look at these brothers, Qanath. Now these brothers, like brothers you see in the neighborhood, bro.
Yep.
Come on, man. Stop it. With this lying 12 tribe made up satanic chart. Stop it. Please stop it. Y'all embarrassing all black peoples in America, bro. Y'all embarrassing everybody.
Yo, can I say something quick? Now, didn't you show a picture of an ancient Assyrian?
Oh, I got all that stuff. The presentation, you didn't even close. I got a lot. You'll see. I got all that stuff.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying you showed that. So I'm saying now.
Yeah, I did.
When the 12 tribes, the 10 tribes was amongst the Assyrians. So if they mixed amongst the Syrians, like these meatballs are saying,
right?
Wouldn't they still look black?
Exactly, because the Syrians. Remember now, Jacob was called a Syrian. His family, his relatives were Syrians. So guess what? When they became known as Israelites, and they was taken into captivity by the Assyrians, they was taken into captivity by their cousins, their relatives. Believe it or not, the Syrians were related to the Israelites. So they was taken into captivity by their distant cousins. Let's continue though. Let me get my glasses real quick. Let me read this here. This is a map.
Just like Ishmael as well.
Exactly. This is the old map here though. It's the migration into sub-Saharan Africa. Okay, go ahead. Put your glasses on. Put your glasses on to see it though. You might have to put your glasses on. Because I had to put my glasses on. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Come on, fix that. Okay. In later centuries, Jews are believed to have settled in Western Africa during the height of the Songhai, Mali, Ghana, and Qanath backed new empires.
Nah, Mexicans settled it. Not Negro. Mexicans and Hispanics. They settled it. Go ahead.
According to accounts from explorers of the region, several powerful Jewish families of the Songhai Empire were of Jewish origin until Askia Muhammad came to power and in 1492 decreed that all Jews either convert to Islam or leave the region.
Exactly. That's why you got to read no more. That's why the brother back here spoke about how they became Muslims, but either way, they did not deny their Jewish ancestry or Israelite ancestry, and these are the synagogue Jews right here. Now read from according to and stop at Mali. Read this part according to and stop right here at Mali. Go ahead.
According to certain records in Timbuktu, an older community was formed by a group of Egyptian Jews who traveled the way of the Sahel corridor through Chad into Mali.
You see that? So there's more confirmation that the Jews migrated into West Africa. This second Ezra, the 13th chapter, verse 41, but they took this counsel among themselves that they may lead the multitude of the heathen and go further into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they may keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land, and they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they passed over. For through that country, doesn't say no about no damn water, for through that country there was a great way to go, namely a year and a half, and the same region is called Ozareth. Now, Ozareth is a region. See, a lot of these brothers, they lack reading comprehension, and they just slow. A region means the same area. If they say they went to the same region, that means they was in the same region of Africa, and it's what we call the so-called Middle East. That's common sense. Algeria, the area of Ozareth, okay? Algeria, the area of Ozareth, right? According to the ancient records, Algeria was the area of Ozarus. Ptolemy.
Qanath wanted me to read the definition of region.
Go ahead.
For edification.
Yes, yeah, go ahead. No problem.
Is an area or division, especially part of a country or the world, having definable characteristics, but not always fixed borders.
Not always fixed borders, but most important area division, especially part of a country or world having definable characteristics. Meaning is look the same area. You understand? Different countries, but in the same region, all of us together, compact, basically. Yeah.
Right. Let me read this part here. Claudius Ptolemy, known as Ptolemy, was an astronomer, musician, a geographer, mathematician, a geographer of Greek descent who lived and worked in the Egyptian city of Alexandria. In his geography, Ptolemy gathered all the geographic knowledge possessed by the Geo-Roman world. He used a system of grid lines to plot the attitude or latitude and longitude of some 8,000 places on a map that encompassed the known world at the height of the Roman Empire. Ptolemy's work was lost to Europe. Now, this is a map that Ptolemy drew right here, right, during the Roman Empire. Now, let's see where he said Osiris is located. Right in this area. You see my cursor right here? Right in this area. See my cursor? Let me blow it up. See, that Osiris right there. Osiris is located right there, right? Also, you have what you call the Osiris River. Let me back up. When you go further up this way, right in this area, this is the Osiris River right here. This is a close-up right here. See, the Osiris River in Northwest Africa. Not only do you have the section of Africa, but you had the Osiris River. And Algeria is where Osiris was located, right? It says here, the two oases were important to the trans-Saharan trade because of their location at the northern end of the Tanzania route. Regime is around 1150 kilometers north of the town of Gio, whatever. Now, down below it says the oases are not mentioned by any of the early Arabic geographers, but it appears that Jews lived in the oases at an early date, as the tombstone discovered in a village of the Buddha region has an inscription in Hebrew with a date 1329 BC. You see that? Let's continue. The Zokar Black Judaizing movement in Mali comprised around 1,000 people. It was founded in Timbuktu in 1993 by the Malian historian Ismail Diad Haidara, whose followers claim to be the offspring of the Saharan Jews. In the manifesto published in 1996, the members of the Zokar recognized themselves as Jews and declared themselves to be the descendants of the Jews or Tartar. The Tartar is the region at the limit of the Saharan in West Algeria. See, Algeria. Right, now let's go to the next. The converted. This was how he concluded the black Jews became Muslims. Today, the members of Zokar portray themselves as a small early Jewish population, which is said to have been subsumed by the subsequent Islamic community. So they converted and became Jews, just as the Somalian Jew said, right? Now somebody read this for me right here. Isaiah 11:15.
And Yahweh shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and with his mighty wind shall he shake his hand over the river, and shall smite in the seven streams.
Go ahead.
And make men go over dry land.
Dry land. This is the seven streams right here. This is the Upper Egypt region, the Mediterranean Sea. So this is the delta of Egypt, right? You see the seven streams? Now watch this here. 2 Ezra 13, 46, 47. Hey, Yashipar, can you read this for me real quick?
Sure. The term delta was first applied by the Greek historian Herodotus, approximately 450 BC, to the triangular alluvial deposits at the mouth of the Nile River. The delta displays this classical triangular shape characteristic of numerous large worldwide deltas. The area of the subaerial delta is 12,512 square kilometers. And the abandoned delta is 8.68 times larger than the active delta. Two major distributaries are active today: the Damietta and the Rosetta. In ancient times, the Nile had
one more time. In what times?
In ancient times.
In ancient times, go ahead.
The Nile had 7 distributaries.
Stop. Let's go back. Let's go back to ancient times now. Let's go back to the ancient times. Isaiah 11:15. The Lord shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and with his mighty wind he shall smite, shake the hand over the river, and shall smite it into 7 streams. Now read up one more time where it says in ancient times.
In ancient times, the Nile had 7 distributaries.
That's it. You ain't got to read no more. In ancient times, the Nile has 7 distributaries. Who made those Niles become, or the Nile become 7 distributaries? We just read it. Isaiah 11:15. God shall smite the river into 7 streams so that they can return. Return from where? Return from West Africa. How did they return from West Africa? They had to go through Egypt. That's why God smite the 7 streams, so the Jews within the 10 tribes could return back to the homeland. Oh, I know that's heavy.
Got on ropes.
Powerful.
Oh, that's heavy, huh?
Yes, powerful.
Watch this here. Read it for me, Nashapa. We're still dealing with 2nd Ezra 13th chapter. This is the witness. Read this part for me right here.
There is only one year-round river in Egypt, the Nile. It has no non-seasonal tributaries for its entire length in Egypt, though it has 2 further upstream, the Blue Nile and the White Nile, which merge in central Sudan. In the Nile Delta, the river splits into a number of distributaries and lesser channels. In times, there were 7 distributaries.
Here we go again. Here's another source. In ancient times, there were 7 distributaries. Go ahead.
Of which only 2 are extant today due to silting and flood relief schemes. From east to west, they were. That's good. So it says that this is another source that's a witness to what we just read. In ancient times, there were 7 distributaries. How did they get the distributaries again? God made those these 7 distributaries, right? He made those 7 distributaries. That's why now when you go to 2nd Ezra 13th chapter and read verse 46, it says, then dwelt they, meaning the 10 tribes, meaning in Africa, they dwelt they there into the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come, how did they come? God made the 7 streams. The highest shall stay the springs of the stream again. What stream? Let's go back. Isaiah 11:15. And shall smite into 7 streams. Just add the source that says in ancient times, 7 streams. The highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore, sought the multitude with peace. Anybody want to say something? Continue on.
A satellite image of the Nile Delta. This is a satellite image. Okay, just showing you the same thing. The Nile River and the 7 streams, etc. So this is a satellite image right here. Let's continue. The Elephantine Jews. We spoke about the Elephantine Jews. Read this for me, Nashapa, right here. Jeremiah 44:1.
Jeremiah 44:1. The word that came to Jeremiah for all the Jews living in the land of Egypt, those who were living in Migdol, Tahpanhes, Memphis, and the land of Pathros.
That's good. Jeremiah 44:1. The land of Pathros, right? These are illustration of the Elephantine Jews right here. This is a drawing of these people right here. This is what they look like. Okay, this is the ancient artist or early century artist who drew the Elephantine Jews. That was black, right? So on the right side, you can see what Jeremiah. I'm sorry, somebody said something?
No.
On the right side, you can see the map where Jeremiah fled. They took Jeremiah, and Jeremiah was dropped off right in this area right here, top of Nas. But many of the Jews went further south. Why did they go deep into Africa? Because they was fleeing from the Babylonians. So they went to Patros. What was part of Patros? Elephantine. This is closer right here. Elephantine was part of Patros. The Elephantine Jews, and guess what? They still live there to this day. And they look like you and I.
First Kings chapter 17 or chapter 23. No, chapter 17, verse 22 and 23, I believe it says. And they're still there this day.
They're still there to this day. Yep. The Elephantine Jews was located in Patros. Okay, we just read about Jeremiah. Jeremiah says to the Jews in Patros, dwelling in Patros. Okay, Elephantine was inside of Patros, as you can see right here. This is the Elephantine papyrus right here, papyrus, right? They had a governor at the time. Judea had governors, and so they basically wrote back and forth to the Jews in Judea. So the Elephantine Jews, they stayed in contact with the Jews back in Judea. Now this is from another book here, right? Or another account, the Black Jews sent to West Africa. Let's go inside. Right, it's called the El Libro Negro, whatever, Inquisition. Let's go inside. Can somebody see the top highlighted? Can you see that part? Can anybody see that? I read it.
Wait a minute. We're trying to focus in now. Give me a second. Wait a minute. I think we got it.
Just the highlighted part near the top.
Yeah, she got it. We can see it.
No, I can only see up until it says, thus the Libro Negro, in which, and I can't see that part.
Yeah, that's it. The Negro. I just want to show you that part. Now watch this here. As we continue. This is the William 1644 Northeast Israel African map. Northeast Israel African map. Because you look at the Northeast, used to be called part of Africa. Right? Used to be part of Africa. Now, the Ashanti Jews from the tribe of Simeon. Again, the Ashanti Jews of the tribe of Simeon. This is a map here looking at the Ashanti. See the territory of Ashanti right here. Joshua 19:7. It says, in Rimmon and Ether and Ashan. See, Ashan, 4 cities and their villages. So right inside of Simeon, they had a town called Ashan. That's where the name Ashanti come from. This is from Joshua 19:7. Ashan, the territory of Simeon, right? Now you're looking at the map here. You see Simeon right inside of Judah. You see Ashan right here. Ashan right there. This is a more clearer map right here on the right side. This is Simeon. And you see the city or the town called Ashan. That's where the Ashantis, that's where they got the name from, the Ashanti Jews. So many of the Ashanti Jews of the tribe of Simeon. This is another map of the Ashanti in West Africa. And these are the Ashanti Jews right here. You're looking at right here. Okay? The Ashantis in Africa. These are these people right here. Right? Let me see something. Right here says the caravan approaching Timbuktu in 1853 from travels and discoveries in northern and central Africa by Professor Dr. Heinrich Both, volume blah blah blah, London, 1858. So this is a caravan of Black Jews migrating to Africa. Now read this part for me real quick up top here, where it says where I got my cursor right here.
Africa is identified in various Jewish sources in connection with Tarshish and Ophir, the Septuagint, and Jerome, who was taught by Jews, and very often the Aramaic Targum on the prophets, identify the biblical Tarshish with Carthage, which was the birthplace of a number of rabbis mentioned in the Talmud.
Right.
Africa, in the broader sense, is clearly indicated where mention is made of the 10 tribes having been driven into exile by the Syrians and having journeyed into Africa.
That's good. That's all you have to read right there. So right here shows the caravan approaching Timbuktu. These are Black Jews migrating into Africa because they had their history all through Africa. They got the history. They have it. This is another map here. a 1794, the Jews exile map. It's a Jews exiled map of Africa. It says many portions of Africa were strong with the spiritualism resembling the God of the Hebrews. Because of these African Israelite kingdoms, these Judahite kingdoms that had been established between 1st and up to the 15th century AD flourished before being decimated by the transatlantic slave trade. Unfortunately, these exiled Levites in Africa mixed the law. They mixed the law of Moses along with African. They mixed the law. Check it out here. Look at the upper right side. You can see the map of 1794. You can see now. Look at the right side. You can see it's blown up. You see what it says here? The highlight with my cursor. It says the Jews exile. So this is the map here of Africa. This is the area right here. But this is a close-up right here. It said the Jews exiled, and then right here you can see what it says the wandering Jews. See the wandering Jews. You see that? I guess nobody heard me.
No, sir. I heard you.
Yes.
Okay. The wandering Jews, the Jews exile. I don't know if people stunned or what's going on. Oh, this is good right here. This is good right here, bro. Hey, put your seatbelts on. Put your seatbelts on, folks. This is about to get good now. Watch this, Qanath. And then we're gonna be done about 4:30, though. It's about 4:08. Watch this here.
All right.
Hey, y'all should probably read that for me real quick right here. Start at the top.
The King's Fountain, Portuguese, I'm not going to try to pronounce that name, is a 16th century oil painting by an anonymous Flemish painter. The work depicts a scene in front of the Chapelles de Elrie.
Damn, you did good. You did a lot better than me. When I tried to pronounce that thing the first time, go ahead.
English, The King's Fountain, in Lisbon, Portugal.
Okay, your brother Yehuda have a BFA in art, folks. I'm an artist, professional artist, right? I seen this painting many years ago when I was in art school, right? The painter is unknown. It's an unknown artist, but it was painted in 1570, right? 1570 it was painted in. Well, now watch this here. Watch this. This is a close-up of the painting. Now you see my cursor right here, Qanath? You see these white men carrying this black boy away?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the image before.
You see it? Now this is a everyday life in Lisbon. This is everyday life in Portugal. So artists painted the everyday life.
What they saw.
What they saw, exactly. But you see they carrying this black boy away? Now watch this. Let's go to the next. Let's go to the book now. We still dealing with this painting now. We're dealing with this painting. This is the segment of this painting right here. You see the black boy one more time being carried away, right? Watch this here. Mm-hmm. Let's go inside this book right here. It's called The Complete History of the Inquisition in Portugal, Spain, Italy. Right? This is the cover. This is the old book. It's printed in, see right here? From the origin of it in the year of 1163. This book was printed in 1163. Now let's go inside now. And now it's gonna be kind of hard, but if you put your glasses on, you can see it real good. But I'm gonna put my glasses on, and we're gonna start reading. I'm gonna start about. You see my cursor right here? Y'all see my cursor?
Yeah.
In fact, I'm gonna start right. I'm gonna start right here. You see my cursor right here? I'm gonna start right here.
Let's see.
I'm gonna just follow my cursor, folks. It says here, after mature deliberation of the affair, he commanded all the Jews and Moors in Portugal who would not profess, because written in Old English, who would not profess the Christian religion, to depart the kingdom, and to let them a day or feed or whatever a day, after which. So it basically says these who will not become Christians, and after which, if any of them were found there, they should forfeit their liberty. See, the Moors immediately passed over into Africa, and as the Jews were preparing to depart, and as the Jews so basically they kicked out the Moors already, right? Now the Moors was kicked out. Matter of fact, the Moors
out of Portugal,
huh?
out of Portugal, right?
Let me read that part one more time. The Moors immediately, they said the Moors immediately they passed over into Africa. So the Moors, they pretty much left, right? But it says here, and as the Jews were preparing to depart, the Jews was getting ready to depart. The king, look what the king said. The king, he commanded that all their children who were not above 14 years old, they should be taken from their parents and educated in the Christian religion. Now let's go to the painting. Here's the close-up right here. Let's close up. Let me read it one more time. The Moors immediately passed over into Africa, and as the Jews were preparing to depart, the king commanded that all their children who were not above 14 years old, they should be taken from their parents and educated in the Christian religion. Now let's go to the painting. Now you can see them taking away this black boy from his parents.
Now, way to put that
the one with the red on, right? The one with the red, right?
Right here.
Yeah,
you can see it. See? They take it away. Just as we just read.
Wow.
From that, but watch this. It's gonna get even better. Watch this. Watch this.
Can you make it bigger with that?
I wish I could, bro. I wish I could, man.
I got a big one mine, but can you see that? Put your cursor where your cursor at.
All right here. Well, I'm trying to think where I want to start at. Okay, right here. I want to start right here. You see my cursor? Can you make it big? Right here. My cursor right here to the bottom, right here.
It's big on my screen. Can you see that?
Okay, I'm gonna read it. I can. Let me read it. It's not much. It's just pretty much the first sentence. Let me read it right here. Okay. So look what it says here. Another ancient early writing. It says here, at the place of execution, which at Lisbon is the Ribera, there are so many stakes up as there are prisoners to be burnt. As prisoners to be burnt. You see that? Mm-hmm. Talk about the same. Now watch this. Let me blow it up now so you can really see it. Watch this now. Let's read. Let's start over now. Let's start over. At the place of execution, which at Lisbon is the Ribera, there are so many stakes up. There are prisoners. See, prisoners to be burnt. Prisoners to be burnt. Watch this. Y'all see a guy a prisoner who's burnt in here? Y'all see?
I've seen this picture before.
Right here, look.
Yep, he got a helmet or something on his head, right?
Yep, they burnt him, bro. So everything we're reading is inside this painting right here.
Wow.
They burnt the guy, right?
Hey Tim, I don't know what happened. I don't know if you got kicked out or what. You can come back.
Because I forget to tell you guys, this is from the part of the book too. This white, it's not the same color as this here, but it's from the part of the same book on page 76, right? But one more time, it says at the place of execution, because it talks about the Inquisition of these Jews, these black Jews, right? And at the place of execution, which at Lisbon, there are so many stakes, or stated up as there are prisoners to be burnt. And this is one of the prisoners right here. And you can see the boy being taken away right here, as we just read, taken away from his parents. See?
Yep, I see
taken away. Right now, let's deal with King David. King David, what time is it? 4:15.
Tim, hold on real quick. Tim, you keep fading in and out, man. They say you got to add your mic. But go ahead, deal with King David. It's 4:15. We got 15 minutes.
15 more minutes. King David has Solomon anointed king in Africa. One more time. King David has Solomon anointed king in Africa. Somebody read this for me real quick. Genesis 15:18.
In the same day, the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates.
Euphrates. Now, after we deal with King David and Solomon, etc., we'll be done. Okay. So God gave the land from the river Euphrates all the way to what we call the Nile River, also called the Gihon River, right? Read this in Genesis 2:13. Read that.
And the name of the second river is Gihon, the same is it that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia.
Right. This is during the creation process of God, talking about the 4 rivers, major rivers, and one was the second river is the Gihon River. The Gihon River is another name for the Nile River. That's another name for the Nile River. As you can see the map here, right? The Gihon River. In fact, read this real quick.
The name Hebrew Gihon may be interpreted as bursting forth, gushing. The author of Genesis describes Gihon as encircling the entire land of Cush,
Ethiopia,
a name associated with Ethiopia elsewhere in the Bible. This is the reason that Ethiopians have long identified the Gihon with the Abe River, or Blue Nile, which encircles the former kingdom of Gojam.
You see that? And as you can see, the Blue Nile, one of the rivers conjectured to be the Gihon. See? Now let's read 1 Kings 1:33. Somebody read that for me.
The king also said unto them, take with you the servants of your Lord, and cause Solomon my son to ride upon mine own mule, and bring him down to Gihon.
And bring him what? What did King David tell his Nathan the prophet, etc. to do? Take Solomon and put him on my mule and ride him down to the Gihon River. So Solomon was anointed king in Africa. Let's continue. Read this in 1 Kings 1:34. Read that.
And let Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet anoint him their king over Israel, and blow ye with the trumpet, and say, Most High, save King Solomon.
You see that? It says, let Zadok the priest and Nathan anoint him. But it says let him ride upon my mule, and let him go down to the river Gihon, which is in Ethiopia, to anoint him king. Now read that part here, 1 Kings 1:35.
Then ye shall come up after him.
Wait a minute. He shall come who? What did David say? After you go down, you can see the compass, right? Israel was north. You see the Gihon Nile River runs south. David says, then ye shall say, then ye shall come up. He said, come up after him. Read it one more time, Yashapa.
Then ye shall come up after him, that he may come and sit upon my throne. For he shall be king in my stead. And I have appointed him to be ruler over Israel and over Judah.
Now, David says, after you take him down to be anointed in the Gihon River in Africa, David says, then ye shall come up after him. Come up with him. Showing you that they went south into the Gihon River in Ethiopia to anoint Solomon to be king. I didn't see Solomon anointed in America. Do you, Qanath?
No. I was just about to say that. No.
We almost done. Read this here. 1 Kings 1:45.
And Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet have anointed him king in Gihon, and they are come up from thence.
There we go again. They come up. Go ahead.
So that the city rang again. This is the noise that ye have heard.
It says that Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet have anointed him in the Gihon River. Right here. This is the Gihon River. And they had come up after anointing him. They went right back up into Israel, the land. They went south. And they went right back up. So Solomon was anointed king in Africa. We're almost done. One more. I want to touch on Manasseh. The king of Manasseh will be done. This is 2 Chronicles, the 33rd chapter. Manasseh built a wall on the west side of the Gihon River. One more time. Manasseh built a wall on the west side of the Gihon River in Africa after returning from the captivity. Now read this, start at verse 10 right here. 2 Chronicles 33, verse 10.
And the Lord spake to Manasseh and to his people, but they would not hearken.
They would not hearken. Go ahead.
Wherefore the Lord brought upon them the captains of the host of the king of Assyria, which took Manasseh among the thorns, and bound him with fetters, and carried him to Babylon.
They carried Manasseh. He was the king of the north. I don't know if he was a king. I can't remember if he was a king of the north or the south. Well, anyway, he was carried into captivity. Read verse 12.
And when he was in affliction, he besought the Lord his power, and humbled himself greatly before the power of his fathers.
You see, we always do that, right? We always humble ourselves to God when we get in trouble, don't we, Qanath? We always humble ourselves when we get in trouble. Just like he did. He went to captivity, he humbled himself, right? Read verse 13.
And prayed unto him, and he was entreated of him, and heard his supplication, and brought him again to Jerusalem into his kingdom. Then Manasseh knew that the Lord was his power.
You see that? So Manasseh was taken to captivity. He prayed unto God. God put it in the hearts of the king of Babylon, etc., to let him go back. He went back to the land. Now watch this, Qanath. Let's see what Manasseh did. He went back to the land, right? Let's see what he did. The same thing the Jews always did, trying to get away from the Babylonians. Read verse 14.
Now, after this, he built a wall without the city of David.
Now, after he returned from the captivity, King Manasseh, he built a wall after. It says built a wall without the city, meaning outside Jerusalem. He built a wall outside Jerusalem. Continue.
On the west side of Gihon.
On the west side of Gihon, meaning the Nile River. He built the wall somewhere on the west side in Africa.
Yep.
Continue.
In the valley, even to the entering in at the fish gate, and compassed about Ophel, and raised it up a very.
There you go. So that's the end of that. This segment of this presentation, this lecture of the Jews being black, biblically and historically. But I just showed you right now that even Manasseh, after returning from the captivity, he even built a wall in Africa.
Do we even need a part two?
In Africa. Go ahead.
Do we even need a part two?
Oh no, we gotta do the part two. It gets even better, Qanath.
Right, no doubt, no doubt. Brothers and sisters, hope y'all enjoyed this lesson. Let me say something real quick because I don't want to spoil the lessons, but I'm in it real quick. But I see other teachers out here. We got teachers everywhere. The Most High blessed all of us to teach. A lot of us, not all, but a lot of us to teach. And I see a lot of angry spirits. I witnessed that the other day at certain events, major events. And pride, man, pride has really lifted up his head in our so-called nation. And if we could we keep on telling other people to repent and praying to the Most High. I think we need to pray to the Most High that he take away the pride from us and to kill the old leaven that's in us. You know, that's the issue that we having as a nation of people. You know,
exactly.
You know, the leaven in us is great, man, and if we just learn to get rid of that, then we can all come together and praise the Most High. And it's fun giving out this information. And somebody said, I'm 61 years old, and this is a wonderful time in life to be alive, to see Israel waking up and throwing, well, it disappeared, but hold on. Yeah, let me scroll it up a little bit. So what I said, somebody put a comment in. It said, yeah, and waking up and throwing that lie off, all praises to the Most High. And that's what we get into. We don't proclaim know everything over F.O.P.E. at all. You know, we welcome anybody to come on the platform who has a presentation that's not disrespectful, but leading to truth. You know, we welcome you. You know, like I said, this is an open platform.
Right.
And trust me, when I say we do our due diligence and studies, we do it because we're busy people. You who have a 10, 12-hour job, man, who works, he does a lot. All of us do. You know, and I'd like to thank all the moderators. Hey, Tim, thanks for coming on reading, bro. I don't know what happened. I appreciate that you read all the time. I was hoping my wife would give you a break. You know, Jonathan, of course, man, you know, hey, you come in bringing the fire, especially we got bullies on board. Yehuda, man, hey, what can I say? You know, we talk every day. Yehuda and I talk every day. Shalom, family. Shalom, everybody. We talk every day. To all my moderators, to all the guests, to all the haters, hey, man, just seek out the truth. Yehuda, wonderful lesson. this F.O.P.E. lesson.
Yeah,
okay.
I want to say one last thing. Yeah, next week we'll continue part 2. It gets even better. Part 2. It's going to be undeniable as we continue to prove that God's people never did a metamorphosis. They're always being blessed.
Right. Hey, real quick, T. Douglas, my email is Y Johnson. Put my email in here real quick. And you can email me, right? And we can go over that. You can definitely come on and do that. You know, we have certain guidelines where we do let people come on. We always say respect the platform, respect others. If anybody gonna be disrespectful, it's gonna be us here. F.O.P.E. Let us take the blame. You know, but I'm putting my email in, and you said you want to do a lesson talk about how Israel went into Turkey. Yeah, we've done something similar to that too. So yeah, of course. You know,
of course, they went to Turkey. Many of them went to Turkey. I got a lot of historical evidence on that. Many went to Turkey. Many of them went to India. And many of them went to Africa. Many went to Africa. That's why Pontius Pilate said every year the Jews came up from Africa to the Passover every year.
Every year. Man, we got less and less. I'm just so happy, man. But hey, look, great lesson. 8:30 tonight, 8:30, 8:45. Our sister Nefertali is coming on, and she's doing a class. Oh man, I left my phone. She's doing a class to shut down the Egyptologists. So Egypt, right? All these Egyptology guys and gals, you know, to shut down, not to shut down, but to bring more light to people who call themselves conscious. And that's a conscious community. So y'all drew first blood. Now we're just going to put it to rest. We're going to put you to rest. So Sister Neftali is going to put all of the conscious community to rest. Sarnetta, Polite, all of you. Garfield, she putting all of you to rest through the power of the Most High on Kemet. Tune in tonight, 8:30. You don't want to miss that one either. Great class. Most High bless.
All right, shalom.
Shalom. Peace. Shalom, shalom. Oh, thank you again, moderators. Most High bless y'all. Every single one. Lima Star, all of y'all, man. Bless all of y'all, man. See y'all tonight. Most High wills. Shalom.